Hello, Codsworth, and hello, folks.
Thanks, Codsworth.
Time to play through this intro before 9 o'clock. I don't think we can do that, though. I think it takes more than 20 minutes, doesn't it? Let me know how my sound is. Anybody who can hear me?
Grognak the Barbarian and the Jungle of the Bat Babies.
Make sure I got all the music disabled. Let's see here. Sounds good. Thanks, Thank you, Jason. So I did a thing. Oh, there goes Sean. I installed Unlimited Survival Framework or something like that. Let me see what it's called. So I'm going to try survival. I wasn't gonna, but I'm like, I want the full experience. I want to know what folks who come into survival, I want to know what they're feeling. And the reason Unlimited Survival Mode, the reason I did this is so that I can turn the console on, because console commands will let me figure out what bugs are happening, and I need to be able to save in case it's time to just shut down for the night. So, but otherwise, I'm leaving all the other stuff, so it lets you control kind of and control it. And the other reason I did this was because I can disable, since it's an F4SC mod, I should be able to disable it if it drives me nuts. Because my real hatred for survival is I just hate having to eat and drink and all that stuff all the time. It just makes it boring, but we'll see. We'll see how long I last before I get sick of that stuff nagging at me when I'm trying to manage my settlements. Might need a sleeping bag mod. Ah, okay. Well, we'll cross the bridge when we get to it if it's if it becomes too problematic. I should check my. I guess I can't do that yet. I can't look. I was gonna say I should look at my stats to see if I have enough carry weight, because I think I built this character super lopsided because I figured we were just going to be building. So again, might kill off the survival mode quickly, but... Hello.
Good morning. Vaultec calling.
Let's see.
Good morning.
Don't mind me.
Isn't it?
Got attacked by a bear last
Look
night.
at that sky out there. You can't begin to know how happy I am to finally speak with you. I've been trying for days. It's a matter of utmost urgency, I assure you.
Then I'm glad I opened the door.
Oh, me too. You have no idea. Now I know you're a busy woman, so I won't take up much.
Oh yeah,
of
we're
your
very
time.
scarred up for
being,
for hard mode.
a precious
Prepared.
Commodity.
Prepared to get my butt kicked today. I haven't played survival. I think I played survival once or twice just out of curiosity, and when I was when we did Industrial Revolution. Oh, I guess I can skip all this dialogue, can't I? When I was doing Industrial Revolution, we did survival cures, like some for the different like insomnia and all those things. So I had to figure out how that worked, but that was it. That was like about as much as I played survival. So this will be my first time like playing it for real and doing it simultaneously while SS2 is throwing stuff at me. So it's gonna be It's gonna be a slow and steady playthrough. Slow and steady. We're not gonna be in a rush here.
Now,
Game volume is too low. Okay. Well, perfect time for it to be. Oh, I didn't do my stats yet. Okay, cool. So perfect time for it to be a little bit low. I guess we can go with King. We'll just say that's our character's last name, so I can still be called King. Let's see here. So I'm gonna want some. Let me think how we're gonna do this. We're not gonna cheat. All right. So we'll need a little bit of strength so we can carry stuff. Let's see here. Some endurance. And if we're going to go settlement, we need at least I guess we don't really need charisma because we'll be lean. Eventually we'll get to the SS2 mechanic, so we can kind of skimp on that. I was having a lot of fun with the luck build, and that might help with the fact that combat's going to be way more difficult, so I might do that. Let's see. We're probably going to have to sneak around so I don't drop dead. We'll go to... What luck do you need? Is it 6 luck? What luck do you only need 4? What luck do I need to get... the Idiot Savant, because that'll help me level up a little faster. Like, so far I'm creating a pretty mediocre character here, so I need like something cool. Game volume's too low. I will up the volume a little bit. No Jet. Is Jet really bad in survival? Is it gonna kick my butt? Nice to Jake and mean to everyone else. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna play the character. I need 6. Okay, let's go 6 luck. We need accuracy and VATS, agility for VATS for action points. Like, I feel like I don't need, with this build, if I'm doing if I'm doing Idiot Savant, I don't need Intelligence or Charisma. So I'm debating between Endurance and Strength here for my last point. Or maybe I don't do this mediocre here and just focus on a couple of things here. Let's see. Let's do... We'll do Endurance, and I really think I'm going to end up sneaking around here. So we'll ditch a point of perception and go to sneak. I don't know any of the perks, and I don't want to spend a lot of time doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and a luck required 5. Okay. All right. Let's go. We'll drop a point of luck. I guess we'll up a point of agility. Well, what sneak? I don't know what stuff I'm going to need. This feels interesting, at least. I got like some low stats, some medium, some decent stats. All right, we'll try it.
Wonderful.
Don't know if this is a good call.
That's
We'll try it.
Just gonna walk this over to the vault. Congratulations on being prepared for the future.
Thanks again.
Hey, it's peace of mind. That's worth a little paperwork, right?
For you and Sean, no price is too high.
Good answer.
I have my moments.
All right, you guys said I need to turn up the volume. I can do that now. Let me know if it gets to a point where the game volume is making it so you can't hear me at all.
Sean has been changed, but he absolutely refuses to.
How's that for Codsworth volume?
I think he needs some of that maternal affection you seem to be so good at.
Go ahead, honey. I'll be there in a second to help, okay?
Move.
Miss King, if I may, Sean
Yes, I'm
requires
aware.
your
Thank you.
personal
Thank you, Codsworth.
A little motherly love to quiet the nerves.
My boy isn't
better.
giving his mother any
Alright.
trouble, is he? Hey, I fixed that mobile on his crib the other day. Why don't you give it a spin? That's my boy, on his best behavior, just like his dad. Well, most of the time, anyway. Listen, after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park for a bit. Weather should hold up.
Let's get pumpkins instead. Carve jack-o'-lanterns.
Mum, you should come and see this.
Codsworth? What's wrong?
The pumpkin thing just made me laugh because I don't know. Well, how many of you guys read, or some of you probably have kids, so you might know this. How many of you are familiar with the Little Critter books? They were a big hit when I was a kid, and we ended up with a bunch of them, even though they're all like really old. And my kids have one they absolutely love, and I just read it to my youngest son recently. And it's about Halloween, and the little sister in the book picks out a pumpkin, and the dad goes to carve it, and she freaks out and says, "Don't hurt my pumpkin." So he draws a face on it, and little critter says, "It looks dumb." And my kids just die laughing at that. It's so fun having little kids because everything is funny. It takes no effort whatsoever to get like just laugh out loud from them.
Followed by flashes, blinding flashes, sounds of explosions. We're trying to get confirmation. We seem to have lost contact with our affiliate stations.
Oh no.
We do have coming in. That's confirmed reports. I repeat, confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York and Pennsylvania. My God.
Time to run.
We need to get to the vault.
Off we go.
Now!
Anybody just joining us? Right now we're just trying to play through an intro for a new character real quick. I decided to try survival mode, although I've got a mod to let me access the console and to save anytime because I would like to be able to make saves in case something goes awry, and console so I can troubleshoot so we can get actual useful bug information from this save.
I'm going in. You can't stop me.
We need to get in. We're on the list.
Infant, adult male, adult female. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Good luck, sir.
Follow me.
And
Come
God
on.
help us
What's
all.
gonna happen to
Let's
all those people
roll.
outside the gate?
Everything you can. Now keep moving. Step on the platform in the center.
All right, survived.
All right, that's it. Send it down.
Almost there. Is Sean okay?
He's fine. We're gonna be okay. I love you.
Oh my god!
We'll be fine, guys. We'll be fine. Just hold your breath.
Faster! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!
Made it. So close. We almost died there.
We did it. We made it. We're okay.
Everyone please step off the elevator and proceed up the stairs in an orderly fashion.
No need to worry, folks. We'll get everyone situated in your new home. Vault 111. A better future underground.
So we just...
Yes, up the stairs.
Is here for you.
Robert De Niro, does the Vault 88 settlement not give visitors? The visitors are tied to commercial and recreational plots. I don't think we have them blocked in interior settlements, but it might be that there's something funky with the placement of them, maybe? I'm not sure. But I don't believe we have any exception for interior settlements. Could be a bug. But the number one reason people don't get visitors is lack of commercial and recreational.
Pick up a suit right
Thanks.
over there.
What now?
Just follow the doctor here. He'll show you where to go.
All right, you three. Follow me.
It's so weird seeing Nate carry the baby.
This is our new home.
I play Nate so often.
you're gonna love
I know I just played
This is one of our most
Nora
advanced
in
facilities.
the
Not that the others
easy
aren't
mode
great,
playthrough,
mind you.
but
It's gone.
it's still strange to me because that episode only lasted, or that season only lasted 6 episodes, so
How long
it's still
do you think
not,
we'll be down here?
still hasn't
We'll
clicked
be
fully.
going over all that in orientation. Just a few medical items we have to get through first.
Every step of the way. You'll thrive here.
It's a good fit, don't you think?
Just checking everyone off the list as they come in.
Fashionable as well as comfortable.
Prepared for the future, right?
Hey,
Follow me. Just step in here and put your vault suit on. The pod will decontaminate and depressurize you before we head deeper in the vault. Just relax.
time for a whole new life.
Resident secure.
Oh, you can console the baby? I didn't know that. I always just dive right into the vault. I'm just like, or get into the pod. Ricky Crane, I'm not actually sure. I don't remember the formula. I know it's very... It's like an exponential curve. So the higher your guy's stat, the longer it takes for their stat increases. There is a mod out there that makes it a little more linear and much easier to acquire. So if you're finding that the stat training takes too long for your taste, you can go grab that mod and it'll change the formula. I think it's a safe mod to use. I don't know if anybody use that because I actually never looked at the mod to see if it's edit. Because if it's editing a script, it actually might not be a good mod to use. I should actually go look into that. But I know I've seen that mod out there. It's possible that somebody's documented the times on the wiki too for the stats. Because I would have to look into our code otherwise to tell you what the answer is on that. Spoiler alert, Nora dies. No! Wait a second. I'm Nora.
Is it over? Are we okay?
Almost. Everything's going to be fine.
Come here.
No.
Come here.
No. I got it. Let the boy go. I'm only going to tell you once. I'm not giving you short.
Oof.
God damn it. Get the kid out of here. Let's go. At least we still have the backup.
Cryogenic sequence reinitialized.
How freaky would that be if you just woke up years later not knowing it was going to happen? Like, just imagine you go to bed tonight and you wake up and it's 200 years in the future. That's why that's one of the things that I think everybody kind of hates about the way this story plays out, is because all the side quests and stuff don't have your characters feeling urgent and frantic. If they'd have made it so like the side quest stuff didn't open up until after you did a big chunk of the main quest, this would have hit so much harder.
Come on. There has to be a release.
Come on, come on, come on.
Give me that wedding ring. See, I remember to do this. I didn't even know about the baby thing. Terrible parent, apparently.
I'll find who did this. And I'll get Sean.
But I would avenge my wife.
I promise.
Well, let's take... Okay, so we're going to need all the junk because we're playing in survival. Thinking... I'm like internally regretting it already. Because I feel like it's just... it's going to be so punishing. But that's all right. That's what we're signing up for. We're going to take the punishment. We're going to see how it goes. I can always back out. You can turn off survival mode later if it gets too bad.
Critical failure in cryogenic. All residents must vacate.
Red roach meat. Guess we can't be picky with food.
Giant roaches.
Oops. Just take a seat. We'll just chill and think about our new life. Come on. There we go. So I guess I see I guess one of the downsides of survival is because you need so much stuff. You guys are gonna have to watch me do a lot of looting and whatnot. So I'm gonna have to be more talky to cover it up. Which some days I can do, other days not so much. Very important that we collect our holotape games. You never know when we're gonna need the downtime. Come on, you can do it. Isn't this one where it is? Play tape, yeah. Eject. Thanks for the red menace. The water in the vault is rad free. That is good to know. Oh, you can fill bottles. That's right. Purified water added. Yes, please. All right. Any more beer bottles that I just left? Yeah, I should grab all those, huh? Thank you for the tip. Yeah, if you guys got any tips on survival mode, this is literally the first time I'll have played it like proper. That's survival mode. All right. That feels like a mod feature. Way to go, Bethesda, for putting that in out of the box. Like that's like simple little quality of life stuff that they would have forgotten. Any more bottles I missed? Some more coffee cups, but all right. All right, let's see if I can survive the first encounter with all the rad roaches. Yeah. I thought that first one got killed by the electricity. Maybe not. Maybe they're too hardcore in survival mode for that. They're not phased by electricity. Drink up. Adrenaline is increasing your damage. Well, at least we got this free healing, nice and slow. The sun hurts if you're a vampire. Good tip. And don't die. Alright, these are very useful tips. Gonna want to drop hand pumps in every settlement. Alright. Ooh, that's gonna be the challenge because we're gonna have maintenance mode on for SS. Interesting. Sleep and abort to reset the timer without losing adrenaline. Interesting. So that'll like give you the benefits of a little bit of sleep without losing the adrenaline. Jet makes you thirsty. Got it. Well, that's a bummer. You guys know I love me some Jet. For now, I'll just treat it like every single resource I find is like going to be critical to my survival, and then we'll find out how true that is as we go. Pack of smokes, very important for survival in the wasteland. So we'll treat them. That's like prison money, so we can flip that to get some real supplies. You allowing saving outside of beds? Yeah, I gotta save just because I don't want to like randomly die and lose progress when we're, you know, this. I'm trying to show this for stream. Like really, the reason I'm playing on survival isn't to add more pain to myself. Necessarily, it's so that I'm using the same types of resources you guys would. So like, you know, for example, if I played without survival mode, and you know, most people who are playing on hardcore are going to be in survival mode. So then I would have the types of resources that those of you guys playing survival would normally have to use for yourselves. I'd be selling them and stuff, so I wouldn't be getting the full experience, because it's really about the attrition is what I want to test and experiment with. So things like saving and console commands, I'm not really worried about breaking those. I'm mostly worried about, I just want to make sure that my resource usage is similar, well, is the same as a survival player. Nope. Nope. Oh. Alright, let's find another fountain. Give me all this meat. So yeah, we're not playing 100% full survival, but as close as we can without ruining the stream, basically. And I also still want to have the value of being able to run console commands to figure out bugs and stuff so that we don't have to roll back. And of course, oh, I forgot you can go back here. Wait, is this back where I came before? And the door, when did that door open? Does it auto open at some point? And I just never noticed that? I was looking for a fountain. I don't see another one. I don't really want to. Yeah. Don't want to track all the way back. Oh, you guys got all sorts of tips for me. Let's see here. Are you allowing saving outside beds? Yeah. Were you aware of an issue with Place Anywhere mod on Xbox Sim Settlements 2? For some reason, it keeps making me research the workbench, but when you click on it, it doesn't work. No, I mean, Place Anywhere probably has an alternate activation, and you can disable either its alternate activation or you can disable workshop frameworks so that you don't get the conflict. I would imagine you'd want to disable workshop frameworks so that you can use Place Anywhere, but Place Anywhere might have a way to disable it just on the workbench. I haven't used Place Anywhere on Xbox, so I don't know exactly how it works. But any mods that add activation options. Oops, man, that's like this is like my first day playing Fallout 4 apparently. Any days that, or any mods that add an alternate activation to things, they can compete with each other. So you need to turn it off on one mod or the other. And I know Workshop Framework has the option to turn its alternate activation off. And it would shock me if Place Anywhere doesn't as well, because Reg2K, who made it, is really good about user experience stuff. Oh, put the glasses that I just looted on. Good point. Let's see here. My glasses. All right. +1 perception. All right, and I guess we can... All right, what's our weight? Okay, we're doing good on weight so far. Let's go ahead and drink the purified water, because why not? Well, why not? Because we'll run out. All right, we've got plenty of carry weight left so far. Avoid using Radaway gives a horrific debuff. Oh, man. Fast travel is not out of the question. I haven't decided on fast travel yet. I won't use it at first, but if it gets to a point where it's just making the stream unbearable to watch, I'll start using it. Like in the early couple hours of the game, fast travel is not really that important. Although, oh, you know what? I won't use. You know what? I won't use fast travel because I will get. I'll use the caravan services plots, which will let us do that. All right, let's save right here. So we have an option since we can use console. So we'll go save LP hardcore day 0 survival. I guess this is day 1 now. I kept saying day 0, but that was the last one we made the character. Day 1 survival at vault exit. So if we need to roll back for some reason. All right, we're okay. I'm gonna let you guys tell. Am I making any mistakes here? Like, can you guys? Anyone have arguments against any of my stat choices? I'm assuming I'm gonna have to do stealth. I want luck for. I want to do a idiot savant build. I had a lot of fun with that last time, and I wanted a decent amount of strength so that I can carry stuff. Endurance I chose just because I assumed it helps with the survival mechanics, but maybe that's a waste. Maybe if I'm going to go stealth, I don't really need the hit points. What do you guys think? Anybody have any strong opinions on me changing some of my stats around? Some perk I'm going to miss out that it's going to be critical, something like that. You know, keeping in mind that we don't need charisma, because some settlements, once you get it far enough, you can bypass most of the things charisma offers to settlements. So really what I'm losing is barter and persuade, which I'm okay with. Loot in the second cryo bay. Okay, I'm too late. I'm not going back. Let's see. I don't think consoles save anywhere is the same as PCs. PCs require foreseen, and console doesn't have access to that. So I wasn't save anywhere. He's using place everywhere, which is maybe I said save anywhere by mistake. Place anywhere is the console equivalent of place everywhere, and it has it doesn't require FOSC. Like Reg2K, the Madman, figured out how to bypass some of the limitations of building placement for Xbox players. I think he even put it out on PlayStation too. The guy's crazy. Let's see. Sean, if you start out normal gameplay later on and switch to survival, will this to adapt to the change, or is it set only to when you start? I think it's only when you start. I think it basically, once you get into the post-war, whatever your settings were, that's what it is. And if you want to change it after that, you can use the holotape profile wizard, which I'll show you guys when we get to the holotape. Just so that, well, I'll pop a holotape in my inventory right after we're out of the vault here, just so you, or maybe when we're out of this menu if I remember, so you can see where that is in case you decided to move into survival and you want to turn on these hardcore options or whatever. I need endurance. Okay. Switch to 4, 5, 1, 9, 7, 1, 1. Okay, so he's saying go to 4, 5, 1 for endurance, 9 for charisma, 7. No, that's a totally different build than I'm looking at, Oscar. Asking survival players for advice is asking for pain. You know what I think would be really fun is like if this was more, actually, okay, I'm gonna date myself here because of when I played D&D. I played on 2E, I think. So now what are we up to? 5th edition, 6th edition coming soon. And I remember when we played D&D, you rolled for your stats. There was none of this picking stats. Like, it'd be kind of fun to have that as a little mod for Fallout 4. You just get the character you're born with. Shadowhearse, let's see. It helps reduce rads you eat and drink. That's from endurance, I assume. Luck needs to be higher. P equals 10 for a pistol build. Oscar's still spamming that. Adamantium limb perks helps out big time. Is that a higher endurance? Dear foe, is there an option that you benefit at all from using SS2? You don't get resources from industry. You don't get food or water from producing. The player gets nothing to use out of it. So the stuff you get out of SS2 comes later. So it's like an investment up front, and you get a payout later. So some of the payouts you get, well, first of all, you get settlers do generate junk and caps in your workbench. You just have to have the appropriate plots for it, which I'll show you when we get into it. So it just depends on which plots you use to determine if you get stuff. And then eventually, when you get into the municipal plots, you will later get access to salvage beacons and Mark 1 beacons. Salvage beacons being a huge benefit to players. And then finally, at HQ, you can unlock the ability to bypass all the crafting perks and get access to them. So there's a lot of benefits in SS2, but it's definitely not like SS1, where SS1 was just cheat mode. SS1 just gave you unlimited resources for 0 work. Like, the basic industrial plot in SS1 produced the equivalent of like 5 of those little scrapyard things. So like SS1 was cheating, and that was one of the things we wanted to fix with SS2, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're making the game too easy." So that was a big part of the change to SS2. But yeah, if you're just looking for straight up benefits, then like without a cost, then yeah, SS2 is not giving you that. Unless, I mean, for most of us, I think the benefit is like we get to enjoy settlements and have them change instead of it just being a static thing we build ourselves. Hobbit, I played through the story of SS2 over the weekend and up until today, and I have to say I've not seen a story so well written and acted out, even another mod's amazing monster. Thank you. But that credit should go to the story team, Sir Rick and Cobus and Sagittarius and all the people who have put together and assembled that story, and Cynical Bounce, that they really do the heavy lifting there. I am more like an advisor when it comes to the story, and I build the mechanics. So shout out to the team for doing a cool story. All right, I'm going to read just a handful more messages. Just looking for tips on survival before I hit confirm on my character. And then we're going to go into my usual mode of I'm terrible at doing both. Most anybody who watches my stream regularly knows that I am terrible at engaging in chat simultaneously while I'm playing. So I'll play, then when we hit a lull, like a load screen or a boring dialogue from the base game, then I will engage with chat. And then of course, super chats we gotta jump in for. Jason Locrantz, thank you so much. Thanks for doing a survival run. I don't have the patience, fortitude to play it. Let's go. Yeah, I'm actually excited. Like when I decided today to switch to survival mode, I kind of got excited about it because I'm like, I have no idea how this is gonna go. Like survival mode on paper sounds awful to me. It just sounds awful. But it's a different, like playing by myself and playing with you guys is a totally different experience. All right, I'm of the mindset that endurance is useless as you want to get hit as little as possible. That's kind of what I'm thinking, is that my goal is going to be to go sneaky, so I won't need a ton of endurance. Requires 7 if you want it. Adamantium skeleton. Okay, that's a reasonable thing, but again, if I'm not going to get hit. Luck of 8 gives you Grim Reaper sprint. I consider it vital to most builds. Interesting. Although I guess kind of like the sneak and the VATS builds are pretty different, right? You're either looking to, with sneak, you're looking to one-shot people. With VATS build, you're kind of looking to just have automated combat. So I kind of got to pick a lane here. And I'm kind of leaning toward the sneak because then I can get out of there if I'm like, if I'm just like exhausted from combat and I just want to escape. Like I feel like that's going to let me get out of bad situations a little better. Yeah, I'm using unlimited survival, which lets me turn on console mode and saving anywhere so that I can not have my save get botched. Shadows R77. I've designed some of my world repopulation cells to help out survival mode players a little bit. Oh, that's amazing. That's a great idea. World repop, go. Don't forget sleep. Take the workshop, build a bed for quality sleep, then sleep and instantly abort to reset the timer. Okay, good to know. You're going to want to carry strength, so 6 strength, first level, strong back. If all you want is dog means a companion, you need 3 charisma for a lone wanderer. Oh, lone wanderer, that's a good point. Okay, so I think you guys are convincing me that I don't need endurance. The VATS build was fun last time, but I kept running into problems where I was just out of action points all the time. And I think that that's going to happen to me again. So I think a sneak build will be more sensible for me this time. That's what I'm most comfortable with. That sneak build is what I usually play. So I think I'll be more home there. So I do love Lone Wanderer. It's a super overpowered perk. So I think I'm going to get that. I don't know if I want to drop endurance all the way down to 1, but kind of do. Let's see here. So strength is sounding good. I guess perception, the benefit would be that I think they nerf the compass a lot in survival, right? So like the benefit is you can actually see where the hell your enemies are, which is good. I want luck 5 for the one thing. Strong back, you guys said, is 6, and I guess I get 1 more point when I get to the settlement, right? Because I get to go get the special book. Is there anything I need to... Let's see. Cloth is the most important stat in survival. Assist 2. It's for caravan, plot, fast travel, and component mode. Okay. Alright, so I can kind of ditch on perception and endurance if I want. Let's leave them at a 3. We'll go to the 6th strength for strong back. And then I'll keep an eye on chat if you guys have any good ideas for particular perks that will make my life a little easier. I can use my the special book to fix that situation. All right, off we go.
Enjoy your return to the surface, and thank you for choosing Vault 10.
Oh yeah, Aqua Girl is very, very useful, especially because I can't fast travel. Although, again, like I'm excited to lean on caravan services as fast travel. I think that'll be fun. Oh, I was going to show... Somebody had asked about the So if you change to survival later or change modes and you want Sim Settlements to adapt its options, Sim Settlements sets its options, I think, I want to say as soon as you get to the post, it's basically after all the settlements initialize, which is usually around the time you get to the vault. So I think it's like right around the time you get to the post-war era is when Sim Settlements looks at your setting and changes it. So if you want to change after that, what you do is I'm going to use MCM to give myself a holotape. So we'll go into... So this is how I'm going to probably fill in a lot of the time when we're slowly trotting around the game. Like anybody, if you haven't read my description, there's a link to our forums where I laid out a kind of a description of what this Let's Play is going to be about. And the goal is to be slow and steady. I'm not in a hurry. I just want to punish myself a little bit, get a feel for what survival with all the Sim Settlements 2 options turned on feels like. And so I'm not really in a hurry, but I will try and talk a lot about SS2 and things you can do with it. So we're going to give ourselves a holotape here from MCM. We're going to pop in. If you're on Xbox, you can't do that, but there is a holotape as soon as you get into Concord. Inside of Jake's little hardware store, you can actually reach in through the window and grab one. You don't have to engage with Preston or anything. So we're gonna run this. So if you've already started your game and you changed your difficulty options and you would like Sim Settlements 2 to match your settings, you'll get this prompt once. This is the first time you get access to the profile wizard. I'll go ahead and select hardcore to make sure that it got all my stuff. Yes, that looks good. And you can also access that if you go to tools and then options wizard, and that'll bring that same screen back up. Now I'm gonna double check all my settings real quick. Just to make sure, because there's a chance we've added so many settings, it's definitely possible that the profile wizard needs an update. So let's check real quick, and we'll show you guys some of the settings that we're going to be playing with today. So assignment requirements, that means like for example the advanced and high-tech plots will need higher stats, so we'll need to make sure we build in some recreational plots or recruiting lots of higher end settlers. Auto assignment on, that makes sense. We've got costs on. Oh, this is an interesting one. Shops auto restock off. So that means that once you buy all the stock from a commercial plot you build, they won't get anything more unless you build industrial plots to fuel them. That's actually going to be intense. Let's see, allow leveled plans, yes. Let's see, cinematic mode free look, okay. That is something that we put in there for Xbox players because if they don't have free look on, then the camera just drags because the scripting can't keep up with cinematic mode. Like cinematic mode is actually pretty intensive script-wise, so I actually recommend Xbox players just turn it off altogether. Designer's choice on, involvement none. So the idea with involvement none is if you're playing with a city plan that you probably don't want to engage, we're actually going to turn this to match global. So we'll make the city plans play the same as we're playing. We're going to turn off self-powered objects, so we do need to care about power. Starting plot levels is off. That means if we build a city plan, the plots will still have to go through the normal build and level up process. This is what we want because we're going hardcore. We've got all the construction costs on. We've got operating costs on. That means every plot will require a small amount of scrap every day. So it makes the junk plots, your industrial, become pretty much your most important building plan or your plot type. So really important for jobs. Maintenance costs for non-plot. This is a balancing feature that makes it so that you can't just bypass the Sim Settlements mechanics by spamming vanilla items. It actually makes vanilla items slightly worse than per cost per point. So we actually have a whole balance sheet. You can find the spreadsheet online. I don't have a link to it handy, but I'm sure somebody here could grab it for you. It's on the wiki if you're anybody who's curious. There's we basically plotted out what the rough value per point of, for example, like defense, or value of point per power or per water or per food, and we made sure that the cost, the relative cost of junk is better for plots than it is for vanilla when you have maintenance costs on, and that was intentional because you can spam the non-plot items and they don't require a settler, so the cost of having to have a settler is pretty significant because it's an opportunity cost, because that settler could be producing you more junk or more food or more water. So the maintenance costs we determined are necessarily very high, so just for the sake of balance. It's one of those things that's kind of a bummer that Bethesda didn't account for that, but you know, they were trying to make something a little less hardcore. They weren't really trying to make a balanced city simulator. They were trying to make a easily accessible workshop mod, and when you're playing in hardcore mode, that's not what we're after. If we wanted easy accessible mode, we'd play what we did in our last playthrough with the automated mode. Operating costs on plot. So the difference here, if you guys ever see this, sometimes we differentiate between plot and building plan. The reason we did that is during SS1 we had problems with some add-on pack authors would try and balance their add-ons way differently than the base mod. And so you'd end up with some people who would create these absolutely broken plans. Like they would be either way cheaper than well, we didn't have cost stack then, but it would be like they would produce way more than the base SS2. And so if you were min-maxing, you would always want to build those plots. So if you turn off all of these building plan specific settings, you're basically saying ignore whatever the add-ons are setting up and just use the stuff that's standard to SS2. That's the only reason we put that in. It was just to help with some of those, a couple of those plans that got a little wild with it, where it made it hard for you to predict. So you could know that if you know the class and you've memorized the cost of that, it'll be standardized. Let's see, pay costs from your inventory. We want that on, so we don't have to go dumping stuff in the workbench. Although this, I'm trying to think if there's a reason not to do this, because I know my resources are going to be way more important to me. But I think that's more about food and water, which, we don't pay for with my inventory anyway. Startup costs on. For city plan, that means we need to have 20 ASAM sensors to start a city plan. That's fine. Citizen needs, that's on in most difficulties except for automated. And this is just like the fact that they'll need more food, water, and defense as you build up. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what dynamic needs is. Citizen needs is going to be like you actually have to be concerned with everything. So if you turn off citizen needs, your plots will just upgrade over time, regardless of how good your settlements are doing. So we want to actually have to care about them. Resource complexity. This is probably the biggest. I think the three that have the biggest impact on hardcore mode are maintenance and maintenance costs, operating costs, and resource complexity. These are the biggest impacts to the way SS2 will play. So resource complexity component means I have to care about all 30, I think it's 31 of the base game resources. So all the different junk types I actually have to care about. Different buildings will care about different ones. It's weighted in a way that, like, in the rarer the resources, you don't need them until you get to the later level plots and to the plot types you unlock later. So in the early game, you'll be after like steel and wood and cloth and some cheaper resources. And then as you get to the mid and late game, you start needing more expensive resources. So it gets very difficult. So this one, I'm actually shocked that this is off on hardcore. This makes me think this might be a broken setting. I'm going to put this in my notes. So agricultural water requirement, we're going to turn this on. And basically what that means is if we want to have agricultural, it's going to increase the pressure on our water. So we need more water. So I'm going to check into that. That might be a bug in the MCM menu or in the holotape settings. So let me put that on my list. One of the goals of all of these streams is always to find bugs in the mod and kill them with fire. So agricultural water rec. Check into me. I'll put that as a shorthand for now. Okay, turning that on. We're not worried about HQ yet. It's going to be a minute before we get there. Okay, so here's one of the settings we're not playing on. I'm not turning on death to diseases because that could seriously just nuke my game. This is actually off on all difficulties by default. I don't know if anybody's tried playing with that, but I'm going to leave it off. I don't want my settlers dropping dead because the settlers are the one thing, like, even if your whole system gets out of whack, like if you get deep into Sim Settlements 2 game and you can't get your resources, pull them out of their spiral, you could always, worst case scenario, nuke all your plots and recover because you'd have all your settlers, but not if you have death enabled. So we're going to leave that off. That stuff is all on. We're not going to worry about HQ yet. Okay, so talking about commercial requirement, there are 3 options for this. So commercial requirement by default means you can't build commercial and they won't level up unless you have enough customers. It's kind of the simulation of this. So it can be represented by homes. That is, you got to actually have residential plots. Or it can be, and I think beds count in SS2. In SS1 they didn't. And then in population just means you have to have a certain amount of people. It doesn't matter if you've built them plots or not. And then if you turn off the requirement, you can just build them right away. The daytime and nighttime hour, these are something that I don't think any add-ons and we don't and the base mod use, but we actually baked in a system to where you could change the types of items that appear at day and night. So if people wanted to have like different lights or decorations at night in their designs, they could, and then you as the player could control what was considered day and nighttime. Dynamic soundscape will turn on. Holiday decorations on is fine. Movable plot buildings. This is like just an immersion thing. If you turn this off, in order to move a building, you've got to scrap it, and then your settlers have to rebuild it and pay again. Realistic build times is another one we're not going to play with on just because we're streaming, because this will add a lot of time. With realistic build times on, it would take like a day and a half for buildings to build, and then that's just going to drag for us. We'll leave visitors on. Auto equip. None of this is really difficulty. What's the special stats and can be lowered. Okay, so this is something there's I'm actually going to turn this on. So in the base game, I'm sure some of you guys have scanned people like Mama Murphy with the Vitamatic, and you'll notice that Bethesda did not care about balancing stats almost anywhere. So some of their random characters have these insane stats, and they're super OP in the SS2 system. So if you turn this on, then SS2 can re-roll the stats for unique NPCs and make them start out kind of weak. Now, I think the way we have this set up, though, is it does require an add-on with new stats defined for them. I can't recall. So we're going to turn it on just for now. Once we get some of those characters, we can scan them and see if it worked on them or if it does require an add-on. I can't recall. Let's see. Recruitment, we'll limit that. Upgrade costs, we'll leave all those on. Usability is not important for, let's see, what's this? Select from all classes. Avoid choosing certain building plans. Yeah, so some of our building classes that were kind of niche, like, for example, the industrial conversion, we don't let settlers auto-build those, so they're off by default. The rest of this is not super important. Okay, so that's our settings. Like I said, the biggest ones that we're using that are going to have an impact are the operating costs, maintenance costs, and the resource complexity of components. And I guess diseases will also have an impact because we have them. Now, I will say with diseases, I am currently playing with an alpha build of patch 2.3.2, and that is adding a bit of an overhaul to the disease system. That is a little quality of life that we're putting in, partially because we're preparing for something in 3.0. And what that's going to do is make it so that the pace of diseases is tied to the number of settlers you have. So basically, if you build really slowly and you don't build up a ton of settlements, you'll see only very low level diseases in the early game, and it'll take until you get to the mid game before you see higher level diseases. So that is a curve smoothing, if you will, of the disease system, because I think a lot of people said it's just too much, too quick, and it's hard to keep up with. So that is a thing I have in my game that you guys won't have access to for a couple of weeks while we finish that patch. Okay, so now that we're done going over all that, I'm going to scroll back through and check chat real quick before we dive into this. All right, I guess I should pause the game while we're having this conversation so I don't, because every time I'm just standing here, my needs are getting wrecked, right? Going for the 11s? I don't know what that means. Are you talking about for stats? No, I'm not min-maxing at all. Darren Lawson Hosking, is it possible to have a multi-use plot like a 2x2 that has a bed, chickens, and a tool shed? Yeah, someone could make that. There's no restrictions on the type of building plan, on what the stuff people put in a building plan, but if it comes from the core mod, we're pretty strict about it internally. Like, we try to keep the different things separated. Now, I will say I did last minute install a few add-on packs. I just grabbed the 3 most endorsed, so I'm using Wasteland Ventures, Pros Random Add-on, and Better Homes and Gardens from Ruined World. So I do have 3 add-ons. I'll probably add more in the future, but I just wanted to grab a couple for building variety. So we have some, so our settlements can look a little bit different today. And let's see, if you could read all the follow-agains from 76 to 4 and the spin-offs, how would you improve them? I would turn them all into sim settlements. That's how I would do it. Sean, thank you. Let's see, is the teeny tiny print listed in the wiki? I don't know which tiny print. Okay. All right. Let's get to it. All right, let's do all the looting. We need as much stuff as possible. And then we're going to go immediately summon Jake to our aid. Because we are going to treat the SS2 quest for this playthrough as kind of the main quest for the sake of something to kind of keep pacing up and give us something to do periodically. Because like I said, I'm not going to rush anything. Nope, we don't. You see it? We're going to just sit down and relax. That's how unrushed we're going to be. No, we're not gonna rush to run and complete the quest or anything. I'm intending that this is gonna be my playthrough from now until chapter 3, and then after chapter 3 comes out, I don't know what I'll do. I know I'm not gonna immediately jump in and play it because I want to give everybody else time to play it without feeling like they're missing out on my stream. So I'll probably do either I'll keep playing this. That's unlikely. I'll probably do like a couple of like mod school lives or something like that in that couple of weeks until people have had a chance to play through chapter 3, and then I'll do it as well. But I will probably play it for the first time on my first Let's Play, the one that we went almost 40 weeks on. That one I think will make the most sense. All right, I guess we'll at least talk to Codsworth here. Get some free food from him. Hey, buddy.
Codsworth?
As I live and breathe. Oh, it's
Oh, tiny print and MCM. Yeah, I think somebody has started documenting all of the options on the wiki. I believe so. I know that was one of those things that Sasori, who handles most of our wiki anymore, was pushing off because it was such a big task. She may have finally gotten to it. I can't remember, but I do remember having this conversation with multiple people about getting that documented on the wiki and what a task it was. You are still here. That's what I'll say.
You're still here. So other people could still be alive too.
Well, of course but you've seen the worst for wear. Best not let them.
All right, we're gonna just power through all this.
Oh, my, it's gonna.
He's gone.
It's worth. A bit over. That means you.
Get me some food.
What? Food?
Then I'll be right back.
When changing from components to category after playing for a while, do the other settings adjust accordingly? So the settings are all independent of each other. The only time it would change is if you're changing from the profile. So if you go from like hardcore to city simulator, it would update everything. But if you just change your component complexity, your resources that you have will redistribute. So for example, if you were playing component, then it should switch over to showing you the appropriate amount of category. And the same thing if you go the other direction. Actually, SS2 is very... Oh, thank you for the sugar bombs. You're an idiot. If you go the other way, if you go from component and if you go from category up to component, the system's very generous at giving you components. That was thanks to CBR Gamer, who wanted to make it less of an awful experience to go between them.
All right. Lead the way.
Proud to serve, Mum.
All right, you go fight rad roaches and bloat flies. I'm gonna loot. Give me all the loot. I'll just let Cotsworth take care of everything. He's invincible. If you want some leather armor, there are some on the northeast side of Sanctuary Hills River Lake by a suitcase and a dead body. Okay, cool. Stim pack, yes please. Duct tape. I will say that this is scratching a deep itch that I try to avoid when I'm playing for you guys most of the time. I love looting. I love the junk loot gameplay of Fallout 4 so much. Like, it just appeals to me greatly. So needing to do it for survival difficulty it's gonna make me happy. But again, just like the fast travel thing and survival in general, if it starts to get boring and I'm too much time looting and not making any progress, it'll basically come down to if you guys start telling me that you're bored. If I get bored too, I'll do it, but I will also do it if
thanks for trying.
you guys tell me I'm boring you with all of my non-Sim Settlements gameplay. We'll move on from it. Hopefully I can, because this is going to be so
thanks for your help, Cotsworth.
easy for me to do. I can probably pay attention to chat a little more while we're doing it. Like, while looting, I can read chat for sure. Grognak Mag in the special book. Yep, definitely. Definitely got to grab those. Grognak Mag is just sitting on the table, right? Oh, tired from lack of sleep. Better get on that. Like, it's going to take me a while to get used to all these status effects. Right now, I'm just hyped for some loot here. I don't even know what loots I'm going to need, so I'm just going to take it all. Oh yeah, I guess we're going to have to actually care about lockpicking and stuff, because normally I just wouldn't bother, but could be some valuable stuff in these.
Got it.
Sure, we'll take all of it until our weight limit says we can't anymore. I'm also going to have to build out a proper base and, like, actually, I guess I'm not going to take a bunch of clothes. I'm actually going to have to, like, build storage and hold on to things. All right, so I guess we need to do a couple of things here right off the bat. Need to go grab that special book. I guess I can check my perk chart and see if there's anything I really want that's just out of reach. Let's see, is there anything 1 point out of reach that I should grab? We got to strong back. Okay, I could see an argument for locksmith, so that would be 1 more point in perception. Chem resistant. Let's see, what do we got here? Medic. I'm gonna want medic. I think I'm gonna want medic, so I'm probably gonna have to put 1 more point in int. I feel like medic is just, even in easier modes, it's kind of a must-have. Even though I don't intend on taking damage, it's going to happen at some point. I'm going to take some damage, so we should definitely get... I think we need to get 1 more point in int. All right, let's go do that. That's what we use our special book for. Grab this. And that's under here, right? Oh, there we go. All right, so now we're in good shape to get a lot of the perks that I want. Give me all your loot. Give me your toys, Sean, so I can turn them into armor and whatnot. Do I feel better in combat after playthroughs? I mean, I've never felt bad, but when I'm like in combat and people are watching me play, I'm like, oh man, I'm terrible at this. Like I could tell I'm missing shots left and right that people who are better at Twitch gameplay would not miss. I have never ever 360 no scoped. That is not me. I'm always so I think that's part of why I'm always been drawn to first person role playing for it. So like stuff like Fallout and to a lesser extent Elder Scrolls for that, is that I get the first person gameplay without needing to be awesome at it. Like I don't have to be good at aiming my cursor quickly. Hey, isn't there there's like a little underground area, right? And that sometimes you can get some good stuff in here. Medic plus chem so you can craft antibiotics. Oh, that's a good point. I forgot about antibiotics. Gonna have to get used to all this stuff. Give me this food, purified water. I guess I can take the cans. And the water bottles, it seems like, or grabbing beer bottles seems to be pretty important. Advanced. No, thank you. Look at all this stuff. Jackpot. I think one of the other Sir Rick's gonna appreciate. I think I saw him in chat. Gonna appreciate me playing survival because he's always asking for us to put in stuff that will benefit survival players, and I'm always just kind of like, do you really need that? Like that seems like stretching it, but maybe I'll find that he's very very correct, and there are some weak points in the Fallout 4 loop that we can fill. And that's one of the things that I'm always a little nervous about is. And we kind of just blew this out of the water with Sim Settlements 2. I'm always worried about stepping too far out of our lane. Of that, like, people are going to get irritated. But I think, like, Sim Settlements 2, we kind of, like, we just went all the way into, like, we don't have a lane anymore. We're just kind of creating a new game on top of Fallout 4. But there's still, it nags at me a little bit of, like, I get irritated when mods have such much bigger breadth than they advertised. But I think we are advertising a kind of total overhaul with Sim Settlements 2 anymore. Okay, you've still got that little sleep icon there. Okay, really needs a nap. All right, so let's learn. I need to learn how does sleeping work in this game. Do I have to build a fresh bed, or is there like a default bed here that I can just use and get the bonuses? I know there's something like sleeping bags and dirty mattresses. You can only sleep in a little, something like that. Well, this bed's not there, so that's not going to work. Can I sleep on a couch? No. All right, let's just build ourselves a bed. Oh, I should activate the workbench here. Basement, bunker, and roof of that house. There's something on the roof of that house? Do I climb up this little wood thing and jump over there, or do I have to build something to get up there? It looks like I can get up there. What's up here on the roof? Hey, cool. What other goodies we got up here? We're gonna go roof hopping. A little parkour Nora. Alright, let's climb the workbench here. Oh yeah, we can get our Robco issue. Alright, I guess I'm gonna, my instinct to do my typical playthrough, which is claim my old home for nostalgia's sake. Can do that. Let's go ahead and build ourselves a nice little bed here. This bed looks cleanish. Do we have any even better options? Oh yeah, look at this shiny thing. That's so cheap. Build ourselves a fancy bed. And then we'll sleep. And we'll see what are the penalties for sleeping. So do I need to sleep 8 hours? How does this work, guys? Do I need to sleep a bunch of hours? Just 1 hour? Let's see here. Supply chests from the Nightingales seem to have a very high chance of antibiotics. Awesome. You could rest it there in the bunker, like Andrew said. Ah, that was a good spot. Okay. Hardcore gameplay add-on, please. Don't forget the bag on the roof. Cool. All beds give you a chance of getting the bid. But clean bed's lowest chance. Okay. Let's see. That's what I've been talking about for weeks. You and the team could make an entire game, considering the time you put into SS. Yeah, it does feel. I mean, that feels like we're already building a game. I think that's part of the fun. Mailbox by the wooden bridge. At least 1 hour. Is it like the longer I sleep, the more this fills up my sleep meter or something? I think it's all invisible, right? Unless you have a mod to show it to you. You were tired from lack of sleep still, so that apparently wasn't enough. All right, let's just do 6 hours. Sure. Sleep by 8 hours gives a perk. Well, there you go. Even better. Do I have to do it all at once? Or does it remember it if I do it in just a short amount of time? Well, now I'm curious. What happens if I do a 6 and then a 2? Nothing. Okay, so it's all in one go. All right, so we'll do it while we're safe. And we're going to wake up real thirsty. Good thing we got all that purified water. And let's see if we wake up with some sort of disease now. Feel well rested. All right. Peckish from lack of food. All right, what do we got to eat here? We've got stuff that's going to give me rads. That stuff is what I want to avoid, right? Rads are bad. So purified water. We'll get rid of some proper hydration here. Wait, whoa, the boxed food gives you no... Did I read that correct? 0 HP. 0 HP. So what is the purpose of all the... Do you use that in cooking and stuff? I assume that that's the goal, that they want you to use cooking in survival mode. That's why it's designed this way. And I think there's a cooking station around here somewhere, isn't there? Oh yeah, it's over here in the front. 7 hours straight does it? Okay. 3 hours from bags, 5 hours dirty mattresses, unlimited in bed. Cool, thank you guys. Alright, there should be one over here too. Do you have to scrap this? Nope, nope, nope. Oh. Am I in God mode or something? Why isn't it doing any damage? Or am I still healing from that drinking that water? Does it take that long to heal off of food and beverage? Is that what I'm seeing? Alright, let's do some cooking. Disease cure. Alright. Let's see. Beverage requires dirty water. Roast. What can we make here? Grilled rad roach. And it says it gives 0 HP? Okay, I'm very confused here. Let's check that again. Am I not understanding how something works in this game, or do I have to have a perk for this? Grilled rad roach. 0 HP. What is happening here? So is food just for... Is that the idea, is just for hunger now? Is that what I'm just... It's just whooshing me because I've never played with hunger before? Empty milk bottle. I assume I can fill with some... Ooh, canned dog food. Delicious. Bobby pins. Hey, money. What about down here? Okay, that's a locked safe. So I guess pre-war money, does that... What's its weight? Because I know they change weights on a lot of stuff, right? Is pre-war money still super light or no weight? 0 weight. Awesome. So I can use that as like secondary cash then? Instead of having to... Because usually I treat chems like that, but I think in this I can't because they're not free. They're not free weight anymore. What was that? Yeah, let's grab everything. Let's disable this. Hey, there we go. Oops. Alright, so I guess we'll grab Idiot Savant right away. I might as well do it now. So we'll get those chances of that proc for the faster leveling. Eating gives satiation. There we go. Definitely want the meat and cook it in survival mode. Okay, good. Sim Settlements 1 and 2 are incompatible. Yes, they definitely are. So the Sim Settlements 1 and Concord I don't actually have installed, but I don't delete the MCM menus. I just have them in there in case I need to access information from them. So I have SS1 and SS2 in my data directory, but I don't have them enabled at the same time. You definitely should not do that. Little medics. I'm Bobby Pin rich already. So I think we need... I need to build a chest and like dump off all my stuff, and we need to do some cooking over here. So I feel like now I'm like with that lack of fast travel, I kind of want to build everything right over here by the entrance. That's an interesting thing I hadn't thought about. Let's see. All right, grilled radish. All right. Man, that sound effect is awful. All right. Okay, done cooking. Let's build ourselves a little chest. Oh, we're hungry again still. Yeah, I could definitely see myself getting very tired of inventory management in this. All right, let's give ourselves a little container here. We don't need a TV. Get out of here. We'll do... Yeah, we don't need that. Just gonna build a one for now. Just offload whatever we don't need. All right, what are we not using? We don't need, because I'll go sell some stuff later. For now, I'm not anywhere near a vendor, so let's just make some room. We don't need this much food on us. I think you guys said chems and alcohol, bad idea, right? All right, got a little bit of food, got a little bit of water. Oh, I guess I can store all the junk in the workbench, and I shouldn't carry around ammo I'm not using, right? I will take shotgun shells because I'm going to use a shotgun because I always do. See, I think this is why people quit survival mode. All this inventory management and stuff. We need some quick buttons to like just program all that, like prep. I need a prep button that will just do all that stuff for me. Store all junk. There we go. All right, let's build. I guess we'll build our radio thing. Summon Jake here. Oh, I should pick a different settlement than here. Do something a little different. Let's do... Where should we set up Jake and Paul and everybody? I don't want to go too far. I guess we'll do Red Rocket. We haven't done that yet. It's a fun enough one to build at. And then we won't go too crazy, because that'll let us keep our settlement a little bit smaller, too. Will the next update be Chapter 3 as a separate download or 3.0 of the base mod? Both. There'll be a 3.0 update, and then there'll be a Chapter 3 with the story content. But the base mod will get all the new mechanics in a 3.0 patch.
Hey, boy. What are you doing out here all by yourself? You want to come with me, pal?
There we go.
Okay, then. Let's stick together.
Okay. Alright, let's kill this music, because for some reason we get... Well, no matter what kind of music is playing, we get a copyright strike. It's just the way of YouTube anymore. Thankfully, those kind of are irrelevant anymore, which is good. Grab all this stuff. Alright, where's the mole rats? Don't they usually pop up by now? Alright, let's go ahead and do... Oh, I left all my junk over there and it's not connected. Ah, bummer. Alright, so we may do Sanctuary just out of laziness for not wanting to run back over there and grab all of our loot. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll take some Coca-Cola. Take all the things. Alright, how much do I need to build? Well, I'm going to need... I don't have enough to build the radio beacon because it's all in Sanctuary. So, yep, Sanctuary it is. We'll change it to Jake later. Or we'll change it to here later if... Oh, I should be able to do that. I can build it to summon him over there. And then immediately change it, I guess. And then I'll send the Concord 5 here. That'll work. Whoa, 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 whoa. Dog meat, where you at? Help me out here, buddy. Okay, see there? This is where at the moments I feel really terrible at combat. Alright. Let's take the Savant trigger too. So I'm guessing stim packs punish you with some sort of survival mechanic thing. Oh, nice shot. Let's see, what do stim packs do? Do they make me thirsty? Yep, parched from lack of water. Alright, good to know. Okay. Alright, let's go back to Sanctuary. We'll summon Jake. We can send him back over here. And then that'll be fine. What is that little chem symbol on my screen? Is there any way to see the? Is that under here? Status? Yeah. Show effects. That's from purified water. We're getting healing. Got it. Okay. Oh, and I'm forgetting all this loot right out here too. It's gonna take a while to get used to. Like things like loot mattering. It's so weird. A weird feeling for me. Oh, here we go. There's a shotgun. And a drifter outfit, which should be a nice armor increase. And favorite this guy. Alright. Rough water. 1 water for every stim you use. Okay. I have to be nice to Jake this time. Yeah, we did our mean Jake playthrough already. Mean to Jake playthrough. Alright. Okay. And as you can see, we've got our full component resources because we are playing in hardcore mode. So we get to see an icon for every single scrap resource, which is one of probably the more overwhelming things I think folks see when they load up in survival mode with SS2. Alright, let's build our beacon. Build our generator. And there we go. I like when I can hear myself talking over the radio as he's coming walking up. Come on, Jake. Come here. Let's get him to slowly walk toward us. He's supposed to have the radio station playing off of his Pip-Boy, but I don't know how long it takes to initialize. So like I think if you wait a few seconds, you'll start hearing it play off of his Pip-Boy. Actually, I wonder if we can even hear it ourselves.
Attention Commonwealth residents.
Let's see. There it is. Now you can hear it off of him.
Hey! Hello there! If I'm not mistaken, you're the gal I've been looking for.
You, hear my broadcast?
You're sharp. Yeah, I heard your broadcast. Sounded as if you were starting some kind of settlement. Is that about the right of it?
That's right.
Well, in that case, I've got something you might be interested in. Here, catch. It's called an ASAM sensor. If you're gonna be building settlements, these things are what you'll want to use.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
I think a demonstration is in order. Place that ASAM down on the ground somewhere. Go ahead. Any old spot will do.
Can't help but remembering the bug reports of people dropping it on the ground. Literally. So fun. Oh wow, we rolled good there. Got the triple settler right off the bat. Downside means we're gonna be we're gonna have to build a lot of stuff quickly. So I might hold off on getting the Concord 5 for a little bit because we're gonna get quickly overwhelmed with our resource requirements. Alright, so we'll build our residential plot here. And then, no, don't store it. Just trying to hop out of there. Now what I want to know is, do my, oh, we might have just, I wonder if we just bugged the quest doing this. I think that there's a problem with doing that, with picking it up again after you place it during the quest. Yeah, I think we just screwed the pooch there. I think it doesn't like when you do that because it destroys the ASAM sensor that's used for talking. I might have to reload real quick here. This is one of those bugs that's been on the back burner of my list that I've just never gotten around to fixing.
Don't mind the ASAM. It's just scanning the area for materials.
Let's see. Is this one going to do that? No, it does. Is it doing it? Yeah, no, it's not actually going to do it. Ah! How far back do we got to go? Oh, son of a... So, lesson learned for you guys. I need to fix that bug. That is one of those ones that I've just let go because everybody in the community knows to do that. But, alright. We're going to put that on the short list for our 232 patch. So, if you pick up the plot, it's supposed to detect, you know, like if it was working correctly, it would detect that you moved the plot, detect the new ASAM sensor. It currently does not. So, I'm going to put that on my short list of, we need to fix that. Alright, so, fix pickup of demo plots. Alright, got that on my list. We'll try and get that fixed for 232. I can see why so many people run into that. And then in survival mode, that's brutal because you're not getting autosaves all the time. So we're not going to go all the way and redo all that stuff. Instead, we're just going to summon Jake immediately, and I'll just go do the loot again later. All right, so let's first fix our needs here. Properly hydrated. We need some food. So we'll go back and cook. So yeah, if you've ever had that happen where the first quest gets stuck, that's probably why you probably picked up your plot and you weren't happy with the position. Alright, I think we gotta kill these rad roaches again. And then this guy over here. Oh, I guess I can take the food too if I want to do some rad roach cooking. Oh yeah, I'm hungry because I haven't eaten my red roach breakfast yet. Where'd you go? Where'd your corpse go? Shortwind, thank you for the big donation. Don't give up on survival mode. It is natural after you get used to the... if you're used to the quirks, we need you to experience it fully so we can get good patches and tweets. This is the best mod ever. Your voice actors are awesome. Thank you for the donation and the kind words. I'm gonna try. I'm not giving up yet. I'm guaranteed in it for a couple episodes. Like I said, unless like overwhelming the audience is like, this is boring, we're spending too much time watching you dick around with survival mechanics in your inventory, and then that might jade me. But I mean, like, I'm not in a hurry. Like, I think one of the reasons I tend to not want survival mode when I think about how my game's gonna play is because it's usually me by myself, so I don't want to waste time on boring things. But as long as you guys are entertained, then I'll be happy. So, and I can occupy when I have an audience, I can occupy myself with other stuff. So like the entertainment doesn't have to come from the immediate gameplay. It can come from me discussing the mod and discussing my experience here and getting pointers from you guys how to make survival more enjoyable.
That's it.
Okay, let's go build Jake his thing and summon him again, and we will remember this time that we can save anytime, so we don't make that mistake again. Oh yeah, I didn't talk to Codsworth even. Oh no, there he is. Yes, we did. I was like, are you kidding me? But I definitely did, because there's the bed I made. Why am I still hungry? Why am I still hungry? How much food do you need to eat, Nora? There we go. Okay, all right, let's save again. Oh, I guess I haven't dumped all my junk. Now I can go do Red Rocket proper here. I'm not going to get so lucky with the settlement roll, though, I think. Let's see. Do I still have all my junk? Yeah, it looks like it. Alright, let's go to Red Rocket. We should have enough junk. I'll grab a few pieces of rubber. I might not have enough for a generator over there. I think usually, by default, you're short rubber. And I guess I'll grab all the junk out of the workbench, too. So transfer. Take all. Yes. Let's see. How's my weight? 148. Holy cow. Junk weighs a lot, apparently. Alright, let's get rid of some stuff we don't need. I saw you guys point out in chat, I can just use the workbench for storage. It's a good point. For speediness. How big of a donation to make you do all SS2 chapters in survival, even if you hate survival? I don't need a specific donation for that. We'll just, like I said, as long as you guys keep tuning in, you're enjoying yourselves, I'll keep playing. Cut it too close. Cut it too close. And we'll just drop that on the ground. Alright. Just leave a trail of unused equipment behind us. This is probably what survival mode's like, right? You just drop all the garbage you don't want on the ground because you have no time for figuring it out. All right, well, we don't have that. We can walk. Let's go. Oh, come on. Come on. That's so heavy. Your voice actors are great. Would you consider a collab with RCA Llama for a companion mod? I mean, right now, doing any type of collab, like, we can't even really... It's hard to discuss that until we're done with the core mod. And then the biggest issue we'd have with it is voice actor availability. So first we're going to... So my short-term goals are to finish Chapter 3, obviously. And then if we can convince everybody that needs to be involved for it, I would like to finish Conqueror. And then if we're still working on SS2 at that point, we can we can discuss collaboration stuff. But we have so much to do of our own things that it's hard to add that kind of stuff. It's the same reason I don't do a lot of mod patches. Like I've done a very few because it's just like there's so much. It's like I could put the effort to do a patch, or I could just do the effort to fix bugs in our own mod. So it kind of gets to a point where it's
what are you doing out here all by yourself?
it's tough to do the split my focus.
You want to come with me, pal? Okay then, let's stick together.
All right, my little pack mule. I probably should have grabbed Lone Wanderer first. That might have been a smarter grab for the early game. All right, let's transfer some stuff here. Store all junk. Do we have any extra stuff we need to get rid of? Probably a lot of this aid, but we got enough room for now. All right, let's. All right, let's build ourselves a generator and a thing, and then Jake can help us fight mole rats, as he was originally meant to do. For those of you guys who weren't here for that stream, I talked about the fact that originally our quest design had Jake. You met him in Red Rocket in our very first draft of the mod, and he was gonna get hit by an explosion, and then you'd have to protect him from mole rats.
Excuse me.
Hey, darling. Yeah?
Uh-oh.
You okay there?
What's going on here? We broke poor Jake.
Hey. You okay there?
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, maybe he's waiting for this? I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you fight him. You got the heavy artillery there.
Good. It's over. Hey, hello there.
That was interesting.
If I'm not mistaken, you're the guy
I wonder if there's
I'm
some like
looking for.
leftover trigger from our first implementation here that caused that weirdness of that where he wouldn't fight until after the mole rats were dead. That'd be really funny because we had it all implemented at one point where he would start up the quest with mole rats. I wonder if that's still like there's like a trigger box or something still sitting in the game that we never deleted. That's kind of funny.
You hear my broadcast?
You're sharp. Yeah, I heard your broadcast. It sounded as if you were starting some kind of settlement. Is that about the right of it?
That's right.
Well, in that case, I've got something you might be interested in. Here, catch. It's called an ASAM sensor. If you're gonna
All right, so we barely lost
settlements,
any time there then.
These
Not
things
too
are what
bad.
you'll want to use.
Okay.
But we will fast forward through
Place that
this. All right, now we're gonna save in case I screw up again. Save. Well, we'll do it from console here. So let's go. Since I've got that enabled, we'll do MQ01 for main quest 01. All right, well, let's build ourselves a residential plot. And we rolled 2 settlers, so not too bad. All right, where are we gonna put our first house? Red Rocket is a little awkward on space. I guess we'll put it over here, behind these bushes. And we'll do a foundation, make sure it's nice and even. There we go.
Congratulations!
So yeah, what happens when you pick up the plot is it destroys that sensor while you pick it up, and that sensor is tied to the quest at the moment you build it.
Rocco brand ASAM sensors offer the level of versatility and connectability that you deserve. Rocco brand ASAM sensors, America's #1 sensor solution.
Nicely done. Don't mind the ASAM. It's just scanning the area for materials.
Building materials required.
For this
1
next
Jake.
part, I'm gonna pretend to be a settler who's come to work for you. So just play along, all right? Boy, I sure am glad I found this settlement to live in. But oh no, there are no homes available. And I don't know how to build one myself. I guess I'll just have to rely on whoever runs this place to build a home for me.
Do it yourself.
What?
Hey, come on, play along. But wait, what is this? Why, it's an ASAM! Just the thing I need!
What do you need it for?
That is a great question. You see, with an ASAM, there's no barrier for entry when it comes to building something. All I'd need to do is follow the step-by-step instructions provided by the ASAM. Here, let me show you.
Go, go, Jake.
Once you've placed down a sensor, your role in the construction is pretty much done.
So you know what would actually be a good mod for this playthrough, even though it would make it harder, would be that mod that makes it so that the game keeps running when you're in your Pip-Boy. Because then I could basically like do my inventory management while we're watching scenes like this. I've never tried it though. I don't know if it like if you can still hear dialogue and stuff going on. I don't know how that system works. Fall Souls, yeah. I think that's just an F4SE plugin, right? I'm kind of like you. I treat F4SE plugins as safe to install, and I can still do troubleshooting of save issues.
And no one understands that better than Robco. Our ASAM sensor technology offers citizens unrivaled freedom of DIY home design. Built using locally sourced materials and designed via our patented dynamic easy build blueprint software.
Oh, Kez Daddy, I am in. I saw your thing about getting some people to do some stuff on stream. I'm in talks with
and there you have it.
With the Ron to come do our next charity stream.
Habitation by some lucky wastelander.
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Had to lift a finger. Not too shabby, huh? So now that you've seen what they can do, what do you think? Are ASAM sensors something you might be interested in?
Yes. I'm really interested.
I thought you might be. Unfortunately, right now I only have the one sensor on me. However, I can provide you with more. And once you have more, I can show you even more stuff you could build with them. Homes are just the start. But first, I'm gonna have to ask for a little task done in return.
Of course. Just tell me what you need help with.
Alright, here it is. I got me a workshop in a town called Concord. Nice enough place, fairly quiet. Or at least it was.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
But just recently, I returned from a trade run to
he
find
really
the
likes that
town
house.
Overrun by raiders, and now I can't get near my workshop. A small group I could deal with, but there's too many for me to take on alone. So I'm gonna need someone to help take them out. So there it is. That's the job. You help me get rid of these raiders, I'll give you more ASAMs, and show you how to build even more stuff with them.
Raiders? The name alone says something.
You ain't wrong there. As far as I'm concerned, raiders are human filth. I just hope they've not messed up my workshop too much.
Don't worry. I'll help you deal with these raiders.
You will? Oh, that's great. Okay then. Let's head to Concord and show those raiders who's boss. Lead on.
Let's go. Thank God Jake is so OP. He's going to protect me during the... It's funny. It's one of those things I really need to learn. There's probably something I need to learn more about the CK. So one of the things we've done with most of our characters is we made their weapons pretty overpowered. Not with the intention of making them like your hero, but mostly because the default AI in the game is set up to loot the best weapon they can find. And during testing, if we made their weapon average, they would just constantly grab random weapons from the gunners and stuff, and then it kind of lost the flavor. You know, it's like Preston without his laser musket. It just doesn't feel right. So I need to learn. There's got to be a way somehow to make a character stick with a weapon without you having to make it the highest damage weapon that they have. Take him out. Take him out, guys. It's all on you.
And that's how it's done.
Fly covered ramen meat. Delicious. I still to this day cannot walk through Concord.
Let's get to work.
Without hearing jammer. He shouted down to me because I played through the intro so many times to get that working. So many times. I played a lot through with Jake as well, but way less times because when I did Conqueror storyline, that was my first time really getting deep into quest content, so it took me a lot longer to learn it from scratch, and then with doing Jake's stuff, I was pretty confident in it by then. Oh, bobby pins, yes, please. Uh-oh, uh-oh. We've been spotted.
Glad that's over.
Way to be, decoy dog meat. That sack hood looking tempting. I don't think I can handle the dialogue scenes with the sack hood on. Boop. Good work distracting on Preston. Oof. Head popped. Uh-oh. He's onto us. Parched from lack of water. Very important we take a drink in the middle of combat. So any of you guys who hate Preston, you can actually sneak right over here on Xbox and grab the holotape and walk away. Never have to engage him. You do if you want to complete Jake's quest. You kind of do, but I'll do the thing. I know there's always the Preston hater, so I'll show you guys how to bypass him. I can't bypass you getting his quest in your log, but I can at least let you bypass having to recruit him, like I'm gonna do because I don't want him right now. So we're gonna drink some water. Let's go listen to his spiel here.
Hey, up here on the balcony.
And we'll take ourselves a little weapon.
Inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please.
Okay, because the laser. This is a pretty good weapon right now. Sure. Oops.
I don't know who that was calling down to us, but sounds like they could use some help in there. We still need to clear out all the raiders. And by the sounds of it, there's still some inside that museum. I'll stay out here and keep guard. You should head inside and help those people.
Okay, let's get... I think I said the Lone Wanderer would be a good one because it increased our carry weight and take less damage. Seems pretty awesome. Alright, let's do another save here. Save... pre-museum. Alright. Hey, buddy. Oh, forgot about the old wind up. One down. Two down. Melted. Hunting rifle under the gift shop at Walden Pond. Oh. Man after my own heart. You know what I'm after. It's like I play the same weapons every single playthrough, huh? Give me that. Give me a combat shotgun and hunting rifle and I'm happy.
Put to England with you. You and your joy. You lost the back names. Have your tea back, you round chicken apes.
We should bring back jackanapes as an insult. Come here, you jackanape. Sounds really dirty. Actually sounds... It does sound like a modern insult. You just gotta drop an F-bomb before it. Alright, here we go. Let's Alright. No. I used to love this minigame so much, and I just got a kick out of doing the puzzle. Now, less so. Alright, let's get a reset, please. Hey, there's what I'm looking for. Alright. Let's see, we said we've got one likeness in above. So it could be this one. Nope. So it's not E at the end. Nope. There it is. Thank you. And I feel like that just solving that hack deserves a quick save, so I don't have to do it again if I die. Yeah, I grabbed Idiot Servant right away. That was my first choice. I think it was. I think I got Idiot Servant and Lone Wanderer so far. And then I'm probably going to move into Sneak next, so I can just stay out of combat.
I'm telling you, man, let's just get the hell out of here. We got no reason to hang around and get shot. Stop being such a fucking pansy. We hold up.
Anyone home? I want to make a micro mod that all it does is if you get a perfect shot on there, it guarantees you kill those two idiots. That would, because that's what they wanted with that. You can tell, like that was clearly set up to let players see how cool environmental damage can be, and then it doesn't work. It's so disappointing. Alright, so I talked about this last stream when we did the Bethesda Mod School. How many of you guys would be down for watching a new series? I'm going to do it anyway, no matter what you guys vote, but I'm just curious. I want to do a speed modding. I'm going to just like basically have like a mod idea I want to do and build it as fast as possible, see if I can do it within a single stream. And it'll be like something semi-ambitious where it's like questionable if I can actually do it within a single stream. I think that would be a lot of fun, just to like improve my skills at modding, and just to see if I can do it.
I gotta go take a little walk, but I'll be back, and you'll be dead. What?
Open up, guys. Open the door. Hello. Oh, I missed. I missed.
No.
Oh, I can't believe I missed that shot. Hold on, Preston. Very important that we loot. Don't worry, I got them all. Also, we're not going to go talk to Preston. This is the thing I want to show you. Those of you guys who hate Preston, there's we actually did a little workaround of the main quest, and we have it rigged up so you can actually skip Preston after you clear all the raiders. You can actually just turn around, jump off the ledge, and leave, and the game will still function. You'll still be able to recruit all of them. The sequence up here will still start correctly. Like everything will work as if you did go talk to him. And Sarik was even clever enough to come up with some really well-fitting dialogue from Preston, so it makes sense. So it like sounds like you did that too. It was actually really impressive. It was one of those things that almost got cut for time because we were struggling so much to get all of Chapter 1 rigged up in time, but I'm glad we didn't, because it's really satisfying that it plays so nicely. Give me those chems. So the downside is we don't get the power armor when we do this, but the upside is we don't have to recruit Preston and friends. I mean, I guess we don't have to anyway. We could just leave them when we do the Preston, but I just want to show off this little sequence. So you can actually just jump back down here and go right out this front door, and everything will play as if you went through talked to Preston and company and went up on the roof and grabbed the power armor.
Up here. Darling? Boss, we got somebody up here.
Oh, I missed him.
Never a dull moment.
Get him, Jake. You're the one with the real gun here. Ah, missed him and he's healing. Gotcha. Oh, and the level up. Take it. Oh, Jake went down. Yeah, 2 left upper. I'll show you guys a different dialogue. In future, I just don't want to get so many settlers right off the bat. So I'm gonna delay it for a little bit here. Woo, woo, woo. Missed me.
Good.
Nice shooting. See, once in a while I get off a good shot. Where'd you go? There he is. And then sometimes I miss real easy shots.
Never a dull moment.
Nice work. Doggo. There's our buddy. Okay, now this is where this is where I get wrecked. We better put on some armor here. Oh god. Alright, we're gonna need some of this. Oh, I guess the drifter set's probably better, huh? Oh, only against energy damage. And now I'm just kind of hanging out. Yep, hanging out in my underwear. Oh, that was awesome. Ripped off the arm and threw him into the sky. Oh man, this is not gonna go good. All right, we're gonna have to cheese this. You're on tank duty, Jake. What a great combat line. All right. Here we go. No, fight the giant deathclaw, you idiot raiders. You got him, Jake. Look, there's a raider for you to eat. Get him. Thank you. Clear Concord of hostiles. Oh no! He can reach me. Well then. Well then. That's a bummer. And we don't get autosaves, do we? Those are disabled by default in survival.
Up here. Boss, we got somebody up here.
Alright, let's first... I think that's something I can turn back on. I want autosave on. That is obnoxious. That is a part of... That's like a survival killer for me. If I gotta keep replaying big swaths. I'm okay with playing little bits. Like, this isn't the worst, but I could tell that's gonna eventually get to me. Let's see. Enable... Quick save is on. Show autosave settings on. Survival difficulty page. Okay, what? Is this a default thing that they have and I just didn't notice? Save on travel, save on wait, save on rest. They're all on. Okay. Well, you know what? We'll just crank up the save in Pip-Boy to every 5 minutes. That way we won't lose it quite as often. Oh, here we go. Raider leathers, so I don't have to be naked this time. Let's see. Apparel, drop you. Let's put on some Raider gear.
Oh, boy, howdy, that hurts. We showed them.
What do you mean we showed them? They're still alive. Well, let's go. Where's Grizzle?
Time to reel him in.
Need that Corvega key.
And that's how it's done. Never a dull moment.
There he is. Stim pack, right or right leg. Alright, what do we got now?
Oh, shit.
There's our boy.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yep, give me all that stuff. Alright. Let's gear up here. Is leather better than Raider generally? I'm guessing so. Yep. There we go. Are we fully equipped now? All right. That was fast. Just need a helmet. All right. Let's try this again. We'll not get so close to the edge this time. Poor doggo. Sorry, buddy. I'm not equipped for combat. Alright, let's do a little. Where's Jake at? I'm also curious, where does the Deathclaw go when you go up here? Does he just give up and run off the edge of the map? Or is he going to come bolting back when I got my back turned to him? Okay, I already got a double barrel. Alright, let's at least face the correct direction here in case he does come running back. Oh, leather left arm. Where'd you go, Mr. Deathclaw? Alright, dog meat. I'm gonna pick you up. I can't resist. The last door, so I can cheese the Deathclaw from in here. Good to know, good to know. Although the Deathclaw seems to have, there he comes! Hey, buddy. So I can cheese him from right in here, because he can't get in the door. Hey, buddy. Yep, that's nice. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's terrifying.
Jumping at him. Good.
Nice work.
It's over. Woo! That was... I mean, you just took down a Deathclaw. Color me impressed. All the sound from our firefight must have lured the blast thing out.
What about them folks, the raiders trapped inside the museum? Did you manage to help them?
They're all still there.
You couldn't help them, huh? That's a shame. But I understand.
I'm just glad it's over.
All right. You held up your side of the bargain. The raiders have been dealt with. Now it's my turn to deliver. If you'd just like to follow me...
Elias got him. That'd be kind of funny. Did Elias spawn early? That'd have been pretty funny. Do companions not auto-recover in survival? Is that part of the gameplay loop? Because that'd be actually kind of a cool mechanic. Yeah, I'll follow you in a second, Jake. Gotta upgrade our gear here. What did you find, doggo? I'm coming. I'm coming. Show me what you found. You found a wall. Good work. Oh, stim pack. That's perfect. We're going to need a lot of those. Leave them there forever. No, that's actually a cool mechanic. I like that. I'm always going to stim my little doggo anyway. Oh, man. Did he just, his corpse just teleported over here? All right. I guess I can't be as cavalier about grabbing every piece of ammo, can I? In this, so used to that being just more caps, effectively.
Nice place you got here.
Despite the mess they made, it doesn't look like they took anything important. Most of my equipment is still here.
If you don't heal them, they go away?
Your reward.
Like forever? Here, they just walk off into the sunset?
One whole box of ASAMs to do with as you see fit.
Because, damn, that's harsh. Especially, like, what if you just have no stim packs?
What exactly is going on here?
Well, before the raiders showed up, I was doing research on the ASAMs. Despite me being the closest thing in the Commonwealth to an expert, there's still a lot I don't know about them.
Happy to help.
That's not all. If you remember, I also promised to show you more things you could build with ASAM sensors. I'll meet you back at your settlement. Don't keep me waiting long now.
And now we rob Jake. Give me all of those. Oh, I just saw. Oh, broken ASAM. So I was like, I thought I just saw a box. There's another one. ASAMs for days. Oh, and a beautiful helmet. We needed a helmet. Perfect. That'll suffice until we get our batting helmet later. I guess wait, fertilize. I don't remember if I think we need fertilizer for caravan services. Not that we're gonna rush to build a second settlement. We're gonna stick with one for a little bit. We are gonna eventually want it so we can get fast travel, but all right, let's see what we can snag from up here. Harsh from like, oh, and I'm hungry. Oh man, what happens if I just ignore those? Is there like a punishment that starts kicking in? Properly fed, properly hydrated. All right. I guess we'll take a desk fan. And some duct tape. Sorry, Jake. So 20 boxes, 200 ASAMs. Let's see, how many ASAM sensors do I have? Yep, 200 ASAMs. Perfect. We are ready to build some settlements. Alright, now let's see, I think fast travel should be disabled. Let's check. Okay, cool. Yep, it's disabled. We could enable it if we want, because we've got the thing, but I'll leave it off for now. This is pretty short walks. And we haven't finished looting everybody. The worse your special stats are debuffed. Okay. But that only impacts like their combat effectiveness, right? It doesn't like turn off your perks or anything. Pretty bad debuffs for hungry and thirsty. Okay, we'll try not to let that happen. For now, it doesn't seem to be a problem. I got plenty of purified water. Oh, and I think you guys said I need to build myself a water pump, right? And I need to do that for my people anyway. Let's see. Where is that? Resources, water. And actually what I want to see is... Just a second, Jake. Where can we put this thing? Here. Perfect. I want to see if I can get the info box to show up. There it comes, loading. Okay, so it takes every day, it's going to take 2 steel and 3 cloth for the water pump. So that's expensive. So we're definitely going to need some junk plots ASAP. So we're going to have to build... So the best thing to do early game, and Jake's about to show us, is going to be able to build the junk producing plots. Because they can produce every type. It's random, so you can't guarantee, but it's still going to be our best option for early game in full hardcore.
You already built a place someone could live.
So basically, episode 1, I can title it "Kinggath Learns How to Play Survival Mode," because you guys just taught me so much about this, and I'm sure there's still more I'm going to get punched in the face with that I wasn't prepared for. But now we can get into a little bit of SS2 related mechanics and how So here's something to know, guys, about all of the hardcore options in SS2 is most of them I rely on input from testers and community because I don't generally play in that. There's a few people on the team do, but most of it is just it's balanced on spreadsheets and not reflecting reality. And that's part of the reason that I'm doing this playthrough is I want to make sure that you know, the spreadsheets are one thing, but you know, I got to go rubber meets the road here, see how it really feels. And so I have some ideas of how we should play this and how it will work, and I'm going to find out if I'm correct or not, and maybe I'll have some insights to help you guys in your playthroughs. Maybe I'll have some of the ideas that, you know, made sense to me on paper, maybe aren't obvious, and then so hopefully I'll be able to reveal those, and we'll find some weaknesses in the system, perhaps some places where we should include some additional tutorials. So one of the things on our long-term plans is potentially having a another character or something offer like optional tutorials to teach more stuff like that, where we could smooth out the early game. in addition to the opposite of a bypass for some of those. We're talking about adding some new options to Chapter 1 at some point, but right now, focused on Chapter 3. So I'll hopefully give you guys some good information here as we get into the SS2 mechanics as it relates to hardcore mode.
Okay. Show me.
All right. Place down a sensor again. But this time, we'll use one configured for food production.
What kind of GPU do I have? I believe I'm on a 2070. So nothing too amazing. I can't justify the prices for new graphics cards. They're insane. Absolutely insane. So I'm waiting until I'll probably get, like, I don't think I'll bother with the 40 series, but when my computer dies, I'll get a, oh, that's not true. I'll probably, when Starfield comes out, I'll probably, by then I'll probably be ready for a new PC, to be honest. This one's got some years on it now. This is, I think I'm on year 6 of this, which, you know, that's not the end of the world. It's still totally usable. It's totally good PC. I wouldn't normally toss it, but this is like, when it's my primary source of fun and work, I don't mind upgrading every 5 or 6 years. All right, we'll stick it, I guess I'm not really concerned with a particular design. So I guess it makes most sense to put these in the grassy area. So we'll tuck it back here as close as we can to the edge. Gotta maximize our space. Importance of water. Water is the most valuable resource in the wasteland. Be sure you have plenty. If your settlement is ever short on water, agricultural plots will stop producing food. So, hardcore options, as I said.
Go ahead. Just put it down wherever you like.
Any plans on Starfield mods yet? No, not at all. Not until I play it. Like, I won't even consider a mod until I've played it for quite a while. I will say that if I mod Starfield, I can't imagine doing anything without story content anymore. So, you know, from that perspective, I could dream up some story mods in a vacuum.
Again. Don't worry, I won't subject you to my bad theatrics this time. I just want to show you how easy this is.
Darren says, I admit I do cheat a bit using logistics station mods so I can add logistics between camps ASAP. I think my plan is going to be to stick with one settlement for a while until I know I can't fully balance it, but I want to get it relatively stable. You know, I'm going to lean on basic junk plots to pull that off, to just build like just massive amounts of generic junk that I can just donate to the settlers to fill up my virtual.
When to harvest. Takes out all the guesswork. No fuss, no muss. Well, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, the scaffolding for Farm Plot is funny. We used to have different scaffolding for Farm Plot and SS1, and but it was too subtle. It was like down low to the ground and stuff, so like it was too hard to see. We wanted you to be able to see at a distance when a plot was under construction, so we just standardized it for all the plot types.
Okay, almost done.
Yeah, it's a good point, Cat Nerd. I remember back in like a long time ago when I was hoping to do game dev for a job before reality bit me in the butt, and I realized that it was not in my plans in my teenage years. I used to follow a lot of game dev stuff. I would read game dev magazines, and I remember one of the things I read from Blizzard back when they used to be one of everyone's favorite developers. They talked about how they made all of their devs use the same machines they were targeting. So like so even though they had the money for like better dev machines, they would make all of their artists and programmers and everybody had to work on the same machines they were developing for, which was thought was probably a good idea at the time. Make them be very conscientious of what they're putting in and how it's going to affect people.
Hey.
And there we have it. A fine plot of land ready for cultivation. This from the guy who once underwatered a cactus.
I like it.
Glad to hear. All right, we've built a home, a farm. Next thing is a place to work. You know, somewhere folks can perform a little industry. Gather scrap or do a bit of scavenging, that kind of thing. Go ahead. Put down an ASAM that's programmed for that.
All right, get our industrial on here. And this one we'll put, I guess we'll put it underneath this thing here. Fine. Actually, I like the middle of that. Maybe that feels like a good spot for our caravan services when we get to it. So let's clear out some of this stuff. Get ourselves a one here. Actually, I will use I'm not going to be afraid to use place everywhere now that I think about it. Let's see. How do I turn off server snap? There we go. We'll just build, because we're building a scrap heap. We can just let the scrap heap go right over top of that little thing there. A little knob. And actually, we can go ahead and clip into this a little bit, too. And that should be fine. Junk storage. Settlements can only store junk with proper storage. Industrial gathering plots will increase your max output as well, or I'm sorry, your max junk storage as well as collect additional junk each day. In addition, you can build special junk storage crates found in the resource storage section of some settlements build menu in workshop mode. We probably won't need those right away because we're gonna be leaning on basic junk and the junk storage. If you build as you get more of it, you increase defense requirements. So. Basically, when you're playing in component mode, component complexity, you just want to do the bare minimum at a given time. You can't go too crazy. You gotta go slow and steady, or you will quickly overwhelm your system. At least that's in theory. Again, this will be the first time I'm playing it with an actual playthrough in mind, and not just confirming that everything functions.
That'll be useful. Now, any old fool can gather a pile of junk. But if you want settlements to grow, you need folks to gather useful building materials. And a storage unit will encourage people to do that. Wood, steel, maybe even a little asbestos.
So he's actually building us a building materials shed, which is good for building up the stuff you need to build the level 1. Most of the level 1 plots that you start with are built with these materials. So this is, this is a good one to have, but because I need stuff for maintenance, I actually need organic materials right away. Junk gathering plots are going to be my go-to. So as soon as we get the old Paul quest, I'm going to focus on building those as opposed to these. But this works out as well. This will get covered up by materials. Yeah, that's fine. That looks legit. All right, now we're waiting for the little prompt that tells you the plot is all finished for real. Now you need to go recruit Sheffield. I've put him in RR for every playthrough I've done. Of course, he likes to wander off. Yeah, I'm gonna... I'm actually really curious. Well, I do want to go grab a generic settler just to see... I'm sorry, a non-generic settler to see if the special stat re-rolling is working or if it does require an add-on pack. Let's see.
Trade.
Nope. Oops.
Okay there. There's no bones about it. Even useful people are starting to feel the pinch. But you can rely on Rocco to provide fulfilling employment alternatives. With just one handy-dandy Rocco brand ASAM sensor, citizens need never fear unemployment again. Able to legally gather and store useful materials, your citizens will wonder how they ever did without a Rocco industrial unit. Just one more in the long line of technological marvels brought to you by Rocco brand ASAM sensors.
Well, there we are. All basic necessities covered. Although folks won't be happy with the bare essentials forever. Eventually they will want more. Now it's up to you what type of ASAMs you put down, but do try and keep in mind what folks in your settlements will be needing.
Excuse me, hello. Don't shoot now, I don't mean no harm. I hope you don't mind the intrusion. I couldn't help but notice all the commotion. What are you two young'uns up to here? That is, if you don't mind me asking. Fixing up these buildings, are you?
Yeah. Something like that.
Actually, we just finished building these.
Construction hat, very appropriate.
Walls, everything.
Is that so?
For while I'm doing all this building.
Yourself, did you? Well, you two looking to settle down here, or?
This settlement belongs to my friend.
I see discussion about a Discord server. So here's my view on Discord servers. I love them. I use them every day. But there are the reason we don't have a support Discord is there's two reasons for it. One is Discord requires people to moderate their community servers, and that's a lot of work. And if you don't, you get a lot of trolls in there. And you don't keep them at bay. You can get your whole server banned. And so I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to have to be responsible for it. The second is that Discord servers aren't searchable online. So like when people Google search, or eventually when ChatGPT or its equivalent replaces Google search, Discord servers are just like walled garden. So all that information is lost forever. Whereas on a forum, when people get their problem solved or whatever, or post an issue, it lives forever on that forum. It's always searchable. So then future users can find that information. So like I think that I think this switch of a lot of game companies and support places to go to Discord is a big mistake that they're going to roll back eventually when they realize that like all the lost tribal knowledge to time, because Discord is a walled garden. I think if Discord opened themselves up, because they do have a forum feature now, if they open that up to search indexing, I think that that'll be a big game changer, and that could turn the tide. But right now, I think that it's a mistake for everybody to move to Discord for support. It's not, it's obviously it's nice and convenient for those of you looking for support, but we also don't have like a big team that could handle it. So it's really just, you just be getting community support. And so there is a Patreon Discord, and like some of us developers occasionally will poke our heads in there. But you could get from there, you'll find other like-minded fans who are there and who can answer your questions sometimes. And I think I imagine there's more than one unofficial SS2 related Discord out there that you could join up from the community. But yeah, for me, forums are the best place to offer any sort of official support, just so that we have a permanent searchable record of it.
That's right. We're rebuilding.
You say that as if building stuff is easy.
Hey, here's a suggestion. Why not offer the old-timer residents here? Let them experience the benefits of sensors firsthand. That is, if you'd be interested in staying here.
I'll admit, seeing you two build with those doodads did pique my curiosity. And it might be nice to settle down somewhere for a while. It is getting dangerous out there, especially for a scav past his prime. But would an old man like me really be welcome here?
I'd welcome the help.
Okay then, you got yourself a deal. Old Paul is at your service. Now, if
Earthworm Paul.
I want to check out this here sensor doohickey.
How about that? Your ASAMs have already attracted their first resident. With that, I'd say our exchange of services is complete. Enjoy your ASAMs. I'm sure you'll put them to good use. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta get back to the hardware store. Got a lot of important work to
that
get
one's
on.
ripe.
Whoa, what was that, old Paul? Ooh, that was right.
It was good
I think that must be one of his corpse
I should get going.
responses.
Oh, and good luck with your settlement.
So one of the types of dialogue lines that we set up for characters that Bethesda uses is a notice corpse, where they comment on a dead body. I've never heard him say that line.
Well, if something's wrong, maybe I can help.
Maybe you could. You're the head honcho around this place, right? Well, I've got a request to make. You see, I noticed that there's a whole bunch of new people around here, so I'm thinking it might be best to put down a few more of these here sensor thingamabobs. You know, to make sure everybody's got a home, a place to work, and not to mention enough food.
That's a good idea.
Well, I've been known to have a decent idea now and again. These ASAM things seem very impressive, but we can only make use of them if you place them down for us.
Okay, where's my objective? Okay, plot sizes. No mechanical quest. Ah, okay, so this came up because some of our add-on packs probably... maybe something happened that we just unlocked a building that one of the plot types has multiple sizes, and a plan just got registered. It could be for the interior, might have been from the add-on packs, I'm not sure. But basically, as soon as a new plot size becomes available, this will prompt. I don't think I've seen it in my other playthrough. Maybe I have, and I just skipped it really quick, but... because we have a lot of building plans available right now that we've got a couple of add-on packs, which we'll tinker with in a little bit here, because I'm basically going to just choose everything by class, and I'll let it decide. The only time I'll change away from building plans, I know that Merman to Nuvia have a few that are kind of out there, not immersive, so I might kill those ones, but otherwise I'll just let fate decide what we're going to get. All right, I'm told I need to drink some water here and level up, of course. Oh, I got 2 level ups. Jeez. All right, what do we need here? So we're talking about we need sneak. What's this? Range, sneak, and exit. That's pretty awesome. We should probably get that. And I kind of want strong back too. I kind of just want like a lot of the top perks in my thing. Let's see. Was I gonna get anything in endurance? I don't think so. At least not right now. All right, so we're gonna grab. I kind of want ninja. That's super powerful to get that leveled up. Yeah, we'll grab sneak and ninja. There we go. Now we're prepared for combat a little bit. Okay. Yeah, medical might be my next one. Hopefully I can just stay hidden and avoid it. Alright, so we got to build a lot of stuff here. We need lots of houses. And I am going to just play for a little bit longer, and then we're going to shift gears to chat mode, where I'll just kind of engage with you guys, hang out and talk. But let's try and get this quest a little bit along the way, kind of leave this settlement for the night in a decent state. We're going to have to make use of a lot of stuff here. So we got a lot of things to do right now, because when you first start off in component complexity with all the things turned on, there's just tons of needs right now. Like you can see right away, like our farm is off because we don't have water. We need everything right now. So we want to try and get ourselves a little bit stabilized here. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go turn off our beacon. We don't want more settlers right now. We have enough. Okay. Because we're going to get more partway through here too. We're going to get and end up getting more when Lily shows up. So let's turn that off so we don't get any more for now. And then let's go ahead and get some housing going so that we have a chance at having our happiness not just tank into the toilet. So let's go ahead and build. We actually, oh, we've got little 1x1 homes. That's actually convenient for this location we're in. Let's see what we can build in here. Let's put some houses in here somewhere. And actually, you know what we're going to do, I think, because beds are one of the exceptions where we don't have any, actually, is my objective to build residential plots? Let me check. Let's see, because if we can get away with beds, I think those are the ones where we didn't put a thing on. Let's see here. Agricultural, industrial, and residential. Yeah, we do need residential plots. Okay, cool. That makes sense. It would have been really dumb of us not to require residential plots since we're trying to teach people how to play the mod. Okay, so let's do some, let's see if we can get an interior to squeeze right in here. And then we'll have to just pick a building plan that's got a path option through there. I guess we could try one of these too. I'm very curious what these have. This will fit in here. Tuck this guy in. Actually, we'll turn off surface snap just to tuck it in just a little bit. I've actually never used anybody's 1x1 residential plots yet. I'm very curious what we'll get. Push that in as far as we can. Oh, I thought the little green edge would disappear when we got it all the way to the wall, but it does not. So, gotta just eyeball it. There we go. It's like that was made for it. All right, and then we'll build, yeah, I guess I'm gonna cram more in here. Here's the garage we can use for this. All right, well, let's not scrap this because we don't have another one to replace it. And I don't know if I doubt we'll use power armor, but just in case. All right, because I do not want to have to invest in perks for workbenches. So let's just stash these outside for now. And clean up this mess. The scaffolding popping through the wall there. Alright, let's see here. Do we need this generator for anything? I'm thinking I'm going to kill the generator too, because it's going to use resources. So this is, if we go up to it and hit activate, excuse me, we should get our little info box to pop up here. Come on. Come on, info box, pop up. The info box is temperamental. It is on my short list of issues I want to address. We're going to try turning on the auto thing. I want to see what its maintenance costs are, but I think we're going to store that as well because we don't need it right now. Let's see here. Oh no, we got HUD, info box, hover display. We'll see if it was going to work for us today. There it goes. All right, so this takes an oil and a steel. Yeah, we're going to stash this away. We don't need this right now. We'll just store it. We can build it again later. I don't think these have any maintenance costs. Let's double check. Yep, just requires power. Okay, so let's go ahead and stash a residential plot in here. So this is kind of one of the things you got to be doing if you're playing with all these things on. If you're playing with resource component complexity, all the options turned on, you want to like just think very minimalist. You only want to build exactly what you need at any given moment and get rid of everything else, including vanilla items if you have maintenance costs on. I guess we can put two of them back to back to each other. We'll put a little wall in between. So let's build them a little structure first. Yeah, I guess we can build a prefab in here. We'll just sink it into the ground a little bit. I guess that's a waste of resources. I think those are kind of expensive. They don't need a roof. So we'll do this. And then we'll change it up. We'll get a little variety in our floor. Nah, I'm not going to get that hardcore. We're not going to play build mode here. We'll be here for a week. We'll just stagger them out. And then we'll give you one here. And I guess we can scrap this little guy. And we won't leave these resources to waste. Alright, let's get a couple of plots in here. Can we snap this in? Or is it not going to let me? Alright, let's get you out of the way. And then, there we go. Alright, we'll stick a couple of them in there. They can have a tiny bit of privacy. I can walk out the front door here. So the benefit for residents here, obviously we're completing the quest, but we're also doing it for the, we want to get our happiness up. We need to start getting these guys in some beds. Because beds are one of the most important things for happiness. And we don't want to lose our settlement. Alright, come on, Snap. Come on. You can do it. Are we going to have to offset them? It's not going to snap to that side? Alright, fine. You guys can have slightly offset plots. There we go. Alright, we've got our residential there. Construction costs. Let's see. Are we going to get warnings that we're out of construction materials? Alright, yeah, we got to do some more scrapping of random stuff here. Oops. Now, one of the things that we learned during alpha testing of SS2 when we first introduced the resource system is folks thought it was very obnoxious that they had to go into their workbench and donate resources. They're like, well, why can't the settlers just use the resources? So by default, that is what happens. But if you don't like that, if you don't want the settlers to ever use your building materials without you explicitly giving them permission, then what you do is you go into SS2, gameplay, and then I think it's under usability. Let's go double check. Let's see. Where is that? It might be under costs. So many options. So many options. Here we go. So pay costs from workbench. So by default, they will only use stuff from your workbenches if you're in that settlement. Otherwise, by default, they will not touch your workbench stuff. So it's just kind of like while you're in there building, they'll use that stuff. But if you don't like that, you can turn it off from here so that resources will start accumulating. And then when you have that on, if you want them to use the resources, you just donate them. So you can actually, I'll show you what that looks like because I actually am happy to donate a lot of stuff. We can go to, oh, we don't have a city planner's desk yet. I was going to say we can actually donate everything in the workbench with the city planner's desk, but I don't know if I have enough resources to build one. I'll try. Let's go to here. Oh, yeah, we happen to do, oh, we got plenty of resources for this. All right, so let's build ourselves this. And I'll show you guys this option. And I guess we'll just stick this thing in here. How about right behind the counter here? Alright, so if you go to the city resources here, one of your options is to donate workbench contents, and that'll donate everything. Or you can do donate items and hand them individually what you want. And that stuff will get added to your virtual resources. But since we have workbench mode on, we can just go ahead and click on these and hit start construction. We should have enough now. Oh, we're missing asbestos. Oh, that's right, because we're in hardcore. We're in component, so we actually need to get more stuff. So let's do, let's get our junk going. Let's get our junk on. So let's build up some more industrial plots. So we want to get just the basic junk type, because the building materials plot you get from Jake to start will only build, it's going to get steel, wood, aluminum, glass. It does get asbestos, which I know we need. Concrete, fiberglass, I think that's all of them. And then we need cloth for the maintenance costs on our water pumps. That's why I'm making sure we get the generic junk plot. So we're gonna go ahead and hit here. We're gonna wait till the ASAM appears, and we're gonna choose the junk gathering type. So we're gonna choose building plan, and I'm gonna just select right. So we want junk gathering. So we'll get a scrap heap, presumably. Oh no, we've got both of them. Oh, we've got a burn house available as well. Cool. All right, so we're going to choose junk gathering, which is probably what it chose by default, because those are the ones we have unlocked. I think you unlock the building material pretty quickly. I don't remember if you just have to build one of these or build level 2. I can't remember. It unlocks pretty fast. But we're going to get junk gathering so that we can start collecting just random stuff, so that we'll be all set for that. So we're going to build a couple of these. I guess we'll build another one next to this one. Because until we get our water source sorted, it really doesn't matter if we have enough food. So I'm not worried about that right yet. So first, so this is one of the big changes we wanted with SS2 was to make industrial more important, because that feels more in line with the type of game Fallout's trying to be, which is, you know, they're trying to be like a survival looter shooter. And so one of the things you do generally in like a survival base building game is you get your source of building materials taken care of first. And so in SS1, the industrial plots were kind of like a luxury. You didn't really need them. And so in SS2, they became kind of the most important thing. All right, let's make sure that that's on junk. It should be, because that's the only one we've got unlocked. Gathering junk. Okay, we got a scrap heap and another scrap heap. Actually, let's change one of them. We'll go ahead and do Murmuracnes, since it didn't happen to auto-select. Build ourselves a burn house. All right, well, that's building. We'll go ahead and get ourselves another water pump. And then we are going to donate the resources we need for the water pumps to do their maintenance costs to virtual, because the maintenance costs, I'm pretty sure will only come out of, you actually have to put them in virtual. I don't think that they will just take from your workbench. I could be wrong about that, though. It has been so long since I looked at that code. So let's build another one. So that'll give us, we need one for each person right now. So yeah, 2 of these should be enough for now, as long as we don't get any more people. And then let's go over and make sure to donate some cloth and some steel. Oh, I think we just unlocked building material plot. All right, so we need some cloth here. There's a cigar box, cigarettes, just straight up cloth. And then we need some steel as well. So we'll donate. Do we have just straight up steel I can take? Yep, a whole bunch of it. Oh yeah, they can just have all of it. All right, let's give them all that steel too. All right, let's go donate all this. And yeah, we must have just unlocked building materials class and our workbench. Our city planners desk is in here. So we're gonna go donate some of this stuff to make sure we've got enough to pay the maintenance costs. Donate items. My junk. And we're gonna give them this and this and this and this and all this steel. And then exit out. And it should give us a message that they're deciding how best to use our scrap donation. And then if we pop back in, oh, we got to eat again. Let's see here. Grilled rad roach. All right, I guess we're going to give ourselves a little bit of rads here. Properly fed. There we go. All right, let's pop in. So if we pop in workshop mode, we should see, and there's our resources. We've got our steel, our asbestos. And the asbestos is probably going to get used immediately to build a house, assuming that that's enough. I'm not actually sure if it is or not. I think it needs 6 for a house, so we actually do need a little bit more. And then we have 14 cloth. Okay, so we have enough to cover a couple days of maintenance with cloth. So let's double check what that costs. One of the things you can do is, I'll show you guys in a second here, is we're going to go back into workshop mode. I'm going to show you guys the report view, which is a quick and easy way to see if your resources are in good shape. So we're going to go into mod config here. Again, if any of you guys finds all this overwhelming, that's why this is hardcore mode. We're showing off the extreme version of SS2. If this is not your style, the default of SS2 won't have most of this stuff enabled that we're banging our heads against. And you can also put it in easy mode, which has basically 0 management to do. You just build whatever you want. And I would recommend, for those of you who find this overwhelming, go check out my easy mode playthrough, which I just did a quick 6-episode series on to show like how little management is actually involved. All right, so we're looking for the report view, resource panel on and off. Toggle, here we go, report view. So we're gonna set this to L, and we'll push this into report view. All right, and so we can see here what we're looking for, and we're waiting for, it takes a second to update. But we're going to look at the daily change column, so the second one. That'll show us like our net resources of where we're positive and negative. So I'm going to just give it a minute to update. And I guess I'll go to chat while I wait for that to do it. Sometimes this can be really snappy, and other times it can do this where it feels like it takes forever to update. Did I turn surface net back on? I think I have back and forth. Let's see. Have you considered adding an option MCM to switch the settlement Jake keeps wanting to go back for tutorials from the first settlement to another one? There is an option in the city planner's holotape for that. Yes. Oh, it looks like somebody else. I got it. Yeah, or from the city planner's desk. Should try out the 1x1 mods. They're really cool. Yeah, I'll probably start installing more of the add-on packs as we go. I'll keep installing more of them, and then I'll get to it to a point where I've got most of them installed up to a point. It's probably going to be like any of them where the authors I know are still active, or I can get a hold of them. So if there's a problem with one of their building plans, I can poke them with a message to get it resolved. All right, let's see. Why is this not working? Let's pop out of there, pop back in, see if we can get that thing to update. We might also need to, oh, there it goes. All right, so right now we are using we're using 6 cloth per day. And on building materials, we're all net positive. So our net, what we've got to solve, we just got to make sure that every day we deposit at least 6 cloth until we get to organic materials, building class, and then that'll take care of itself. And I think you unlock organic materials building class as soon as you get a level 2 building materials class. And for that, we'll need to power up one of those plots. So you can see how it's all kind of tied together. So for now, our plan is just going to be to donate a bunch of cloth, and that'll take care of our basic needs, and we don't have to do much else. We can just kind of keep building these really basic plots and gathering lots of junk so that we have enough to handle this gameplay loop before we're ready to graduate on to the next part. So we're kind of going to stay in this like low level game with our base plan of like, we're just going to be on cloth hunting duty in the early game here, and then we'll rely on our junk and building materials stuff to build us up a nice buffer before we move on to the next stage of our settlement. So that's the amount of water we need. Let's see if that's is our farm building up now. Yeah, we've got a little bit of food. Okay, so now we're also going to worry about min-maxing our stats. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the Vitamatic yet, so we can't easily check. But we can kind of ham-fist it and just try assigning different settlers, or we can try we could cheat and do a console command, but for now I'm just going to, so at 3 food, that means by default they produce 2 food, which means this guy's only got 1 endurance. So if we happen to get a guy with 2 or 3 endurance, we can get quite a bit more food. I think old Paul actually is going to be in that camp, so I'm going to actually assign him over to food. I think he has a little bit more endurance, and then so we should see our food go up a little bit. So this is one of the things where Vitamatic becomes very, very useful for this kind of gameplay. And then our person that we just kicked off of farming should automatically reassign to something else. But if not, we'll go manually assign them. So now old Paul would have a benefit of giving us additional junk, but we don't need a ton right now because we're not really in a hurry. So let's see how much that ups our food. So yeah, so now we got 6 food. So just putting old Paul on our farm immediately puts us, so all of our needs are met, and we're in good shape there. So now we've just got to build a few more residential plots, and that will trigger Lily to show up and make sure that our happiness starts going on the mend. We should also get some more asbestos and donate it so that we can build these plots, because I don't want to pass time here until I know that that's going to be a positive for... oh, pre-war money, thank you. I want to wait until it's going to be a positive if we sleep, so that we're actually going to increase happiness and not decrease it. So let's go ahead and donate some more items. Go over to junk here, and we need to find some asbestos so that they can build. And we'll go ahead and give them more cloth as well. So yeah, you guys can have that. You're not getting my pre-war money though. Okay, we're looking for a oh, is that it? I'm just so low on junk. And this is another reason where I want to do quests too, because then we'll get a chance to go in dungeons and do some looting. So yeah, you can have Boston Bugles. Are we just short on asbestos right now? I think we might be. And then I think that would be another reason to go into I must use your donation. That would actually be, let me look at my perk chart. That would actually be another reason to go a little more into intelligence too, because I can get Scrapper, which is a pretty wonderful perk. But oh, that's pretty far down there. What is this? Int 5? Oof. Okay, yeah, we're probably not getting Scrapper. Scrapper pretty clutch perk though for this. And we will take... Oh, was rat poison happen to have asbestos in it? It feels like it might. My junk. Yep, cloth for you. Yes, it does. All right, there we go. Although that's not just one's not gonna be enough. So it looks like our biggest shortage right now is gonna be to go get some asbestos. So we'll probably go pick that up in our next run into a dungeon. But let's check if I can, if I scrap one of these, if they give us any asbestos. I'm pretty sure that's one of those ones you get with. Yeah, I think that's not one of the resources you only get if you have Scrapper. if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can correct me on that. Oh, I just noticed that house is just sticking right through the wall. Pay no attention to the pod coming out of the back of the window. Or the back of the building. Alright, I think this is a good place to stop. So I think I gave you guys a rough idea of how you could get a settlement started in full complexity difficulty. You know, like get Paul on your farm, build a couple of... was he already assigned to something? Do we just short a job? Yeah, get a Paul on your farm, build a couple of water pumps, and then you just need to donate a little bit of cloth and find yourself a source of asbestos, which you will get from your building material. So like if I sleep for a day, we'll get enough to build a couple of things. But I think this is a good spot to save and switch over to chat mode. So I'll leave the game running. We'll hang out. We'll talk. Any questions you guys have in general about SS2, or if you guys want me to show you something, we can do that. I'll hang out for about an hour. Let's see, survival, end of session. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this is starting. I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed yet. I've got a very easy goal. I've just got to go around the world and collect cloth. That's my only objective. So far working as intended. Good first day. And I learned a lot about survival thanks to you guys. I guess I should clean up my inventory too before we if the next episode we're going to go wander around and do stuff. So let's see here. I guess I can just store all my junk. And I guess I can go to do Trudy's thing next. I can go save Trudy, and then that will let me sell off all the extra stuff I don't need. So I guess we'll drink some water before we save here. This is one of the things that, again, where survival is going to irritate me for the Let's Play of, like, this is how I would play normally, right? Like, I would, sure, if I'm playing by myself, like, every time I'm done for the day, I would go through and... you know, do all this cooking and organize my inventory, but usually in the Let's Play I can just skip all that because it doesn't matter. All right, there we go. All right, now we'll resave again. Save. There we go. All right, let's do my usual set game hour to 11. Yeah, I know I'm gonna hit all my survival needs because we're time scale to 0.1. And let's walk away from all these guys so we don't have to hear their sound effects.
Hey, wait there.
Horse weather 2B52. Oh, B2B52A and TFC. There we go. We'll watch our little people wander around. All right, there we go. All right, so guys, you got anything you want to chat about? Just fire away. I'm happy to show you guys some stuff. Happy to talk about whatever. Remember, clothing and armor from raiders makes cloth. Oh yeah, so I should be looting all that stuff and giving it to dog meat to hang on to. It actually is gonna make this playthrough. I think is gonna make me really want one of my favorite mods, which I can't remember who made it. Let me find it. There's a mod that automatically takes all of your companions' carry weight and just gives it to you. So it's like you don't. So you just basically while you have them, your carry weight goes up. Excuse me. So you don't have to pass stuff back and forth. And then if they leave you. You just lose that bonus carry weight. It's very convenient. Let's see. Let's search for mods here. Browse all, I guess. No, I want to search. Where's the search button? Isn't there a search on this? Why can't I not find search on Nexus? Mods. I'm finding mod categories. Where's just a search? Where's the search box? Browse all. Oh, I got to pull down the menu. There we go. Filter. File name contains carry weight. Is one of you guys is probably already typing it by this point. Let's see. Carry weight. What is that one called? Companion carry weight transfer. This mod is awesome. This is like a feature to me. Should just be part of all RPGs. Like this should just be the default. It's such a good mod. Cave below RR should have some asbestos. Okay, good to know. I'll have to remember to run down there next episode. Sean, Vitamatic would be cool if it came with a holotape or note with what stats are best for what plot. So it actually kind of does tell you. So we color coded it. Let me pop out of here at TFC and I'll show you. So we actually did build it right into it to try and give you a little hint. Just not everybody noticed it probably. Vite for web. We'll go ahead and cheat it in because this is after our save. Oops, I forgot to actually hit add player. So add item. 9021049. There we go. All right, so if we grab the Vitamatic and we go and zap somebody. So if we zap Doggo here. All right, so you can see the bars, they're color-coded for what they benefit. So industrial is strength, so it's yellow. Perception and intelligence are orange because they're for municipal. Endurance is green for agricultural. Charisma is blue for commercial. And agility is gray for martial. So you can see it right in the, it's built right in the Vitamatic. It's one of those like subtle things I don't think most people notice. So yeah, it could come with a manual. We try to just bake it right in like that. Luck, not used for anything in particular. It's one of there's like a lot of subtle sub-stats that gain from luck. Like if you're using the best person for luck is your Carabineers actually. They if you use Mark 1 beacons, they have a bigger chance of better chance of finding discoveries. And I am seeing here that it looks like the unique settlers to have them re-rolled does require an add-on. So that thing I have about unique settlers being able to have their stats lowered, it does require someone would have to put out an add-on pack. There's a special add-on type I don't think anybody's done. Let me see if I can't even remember the name of it. It's but we have a system in place where you can re-roll vanilla settler stats without having to modify their records. So that way it can be like totally compatible with mods that adjust other things about companions or vanilla people. I know there's like a lot of redesigns for their faces and stuff, and so that would create an incompatibility if you were messing with their stats. So we have a system, and let me see if it's documented or not. I'm gonna check the wiki. There's actually a system where if you really wanted to like register new stats for Mama Murphy, you could do that without having to modify her record. Let's see, I'm gonna go on the wiki, go to creating add-ons, and we'll go down to the bottom topic areas. If I did it, it'll be down there. Character stats and preferences, yeah. So there's a tutorial called character stats and preferences, and one of them is character stat cards. And you can basically like really easily, this is one of the easiest add-on packs you can ever create. You literally like create a single object, it's like a misc object, and you just choose the stats you want for the character in it, and then you can register that. So then you choose the character, obviously. So you could be like, all right, I'm going to create a stat card for Mama Murphy where it puts her stats down to what an old lady should have, not what a Deathclaw should have, and then you register it with the SS2 system. So we have a system for that, but I don't have any of those, and I don't think any add-ons have done that yet. It's one of those things where like we had on our to-do list to do that at some point, to register those in the base mod, and we just never got around to it because we have a million other things on our target list. Let's see, Charles Roper, do you have a rough estimation of the next charity live stream? I missed the other one, so I'll definitely be around this time. I would say in the next couple of weeks. Just waiting for the Ron's voice actor to get back to me and let me know his availability. Because obviously, like, this stream for some people is a really awkward time. So, like, anybody, like, in the Eastern time zone, like, this is getting, you know, by the time I bring on a guest, it's pretty late. I think he's same time zone as me, so I don't think this will be the end of the world for him. But still got to work around his schedule. Heiner Detto, can I connect Mechanist Lair with the network? Yes, you can. You will need a mod that converts Mechanist Lair into a normal settlement in order to build plots there, but yes, you can. Get the mod, the Laser Garand, a post-war battle rifle. I'm going to avoid most mods for my playthroughs foreseeable future because I want to have no compatibility issues when I'm troubleshooting. It'll be nice for getting these bug fixes. Like, you know, I'll be able to take these saves from today and immediately use them to test anything we run into or anything we want and know that they're clean. Because add-on packs, because all they do, you know, there's probably somebody out there probably releasing an add-on pack that's a little more complicated. Like I think IDEX Logistics Station would be a good example where I won't use that because it's got a lot of other baggage with it, like other things it's doing. But most add-on packs for SS2, all they do is inject content into SS2, so they're not doing anything I would have to worry about creating a weird state that I couldn't troubleshoot. In the same case for most F4SC mods, the stuff they're doing is like at engine level, so it's not going to create I'm sure there are some exceptions, but for the most part I can troubleshoot with those installed and not have a problem. So I'm kind of limiting myself to those kind of mods. So F4SC plugins and add-on packs are kind of all I'm going to use for the foreseeable future. Skywise, top right, I believe. Now I don't remember what we were talking about. when we were top right. It'll either come back to me or you'll get back to me. Let's see here. Carmack, how was the stream? Stream was fun. Everybody taught me how to play survival mode, which was fun. It's not as bad as I thought. There are definitely some, like, you know, I'm spending too much time in the inventory, and like now some of the stuff that I usually do when I play by myself. Oh, I just noticed, look at the massive clipping of that building. Some of the stuff I usually do when I play by myself, I tend not to do when I stream. Like, for example, when I play by myself, I will, at the end of my session, I will go clean out my inventory, make sure I'm healed, do all my crafting. When I stream, I don't do that, but for this, I'm going to have to, because otherwise survival is going to be a nightmare. But otherwise, the stream was fun, and I got to show off like a little bit of how you can approach the complex problem of hard mode when you're first starting out. You know, I'm curious how long it takes before it gets out of my control. My little plan doesn't work anymore. But that's why we're playing this. So, first day went good. Sean, if you believe Mama, she said she killed a Deathclaw with no power armor or high-tech weapon. Yeah, that's the headcanon we tell ourselves to justify her insane stats. I think she has like 19 or 20 strength or something. It's insane. Choo-choo, when will the next Beth Mod School live for HQB? I don't know yet. It's going to be, you know, like every second or every third Wednesday I will do, or live stream, I will do something that's not play. Like next week I'll probably play again. The exception would be if I'm having trouble finding time to work on the patch, because I really want to spend a lot of time on the 232 patch, because 232 patch, the next like real, so I just did a hot fix over the weekend with a couple of fixes somebody submitted, and then I'll do a one last real patch before I go dark on patches for 3.0. And so I may need some extra time to work on 232, but I'm not really in a hurry to push it out, other than it will, once I get it out, then it like kind of unchains me to do a lot of the work on chapter 3 that I couldn't do before, because there's certain things where I just kind of block them off as this is not worth working on until the last patch is out, and so I can start attacking that. So there's a little bit of a hurry in that sense, but there's so much stuff that the team needs me to do that I'm not pushing it yet. But I would say 232 will probably come out in like maybe 2 weeks from Friday, maybe 3. And so if there's a Wednesday in there where I need to, I'll do some patchwork. Otherwise, yeah, I like Bethesda Mod School. I think my preference to do for non-game streams right now would be Bethesda Mod School over live bug fixing. And I really do want to try speed modding. I think that'll be fun, because I'll make like a totally new mod. It won't be speed modding to bug fix or add features to SS2. It'll be just like, all right, let's make a little quest mod, or let's go work on that. Any of you guys who followed all Bethesda Mod School, I had started a scripting series, and my plan was to make like this a new kind of gameplay mode for players where they could kind of be like a turret engineer, and you'd have a droppable turret set, and you'd upgrade it and things like. I might go back and work on that or something for speed modding. So those are the two series I really want to pursue in my non-playing weeks. But this was really fun, so I think I want to do it again next week. Nukes win, of course. I hope before I'm done with Fallout 4. I hope before. I love the idea of pursuing those. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And I especially want to see what Sebo or Nihur do for an animation to send the nuke off out of the plot. I think that'll be a lot of fun to see what they do. So I'll definitely got to poke them for that. Can't do it. I could do it without animation. I could do it with like scripted animation, but it won't look nearly as good as if we get an animator involved in sending that nuke flying. Oh, you were trying to help me find the search. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I eventually found it. For some reason, I think it's because I'm the monitor. So I have 2 monitors set up, and one of them is vertical layout, which I use for coding. And so I think like part of Nexus gets cut off when I'm in this orientation. And I was doing it on my second monitor. I'm learning my lesson about don't open browsers on stream. That's just asking for trouble. God knows what random stuff has been searched on my computer or personal information I have on there. So it's like, let's just do that on the second screen. Yeah, nukes from plots definitely make sense for post-launch. Same reason, same thing. I want to pursue the. I want to bring back some of the Industrial Revolution stuff that never made it. I want to do that post chapter 3. Start porting that stuff over. No Scope 1080. I'd recommend the new Deep Clean All-in-One series for better performance at all settlements. Yeah, that one would be. That one feels risky to me. I haven't looked into it, but any of those, any of the cleaning mods, like I'm a little weary of. I don't want to create weird, because I've seen so many like pathing issues come up from using those plugins, and I'd like to know if there are pathing issues caused by any of our building plans. I want to get those fixed. So it's again another reason for me to steer clear of as many mods as possible for the time being. I would love to eventually do another, and maybe this might be a good thing for like after kind of SS2's in maintenance mode, 2 years from now or whatever, and I'm like coming back for a playthrough. It'd be fun to do another. I loved doing the modded playthrough where I let you guys choose my mods, where it was like every week everybody suggests mods and I'll pick a handful to install. That was a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind doing that again. But right now, too many bugs that I need to work out before I can risk the sanctity of my save file. So awesome people are working on private servers for 76 that lets people have mods. Would you do some settlement 76? No, I think 76 I was kind of into the idea of modding 76 at one point, but I'm beyond that game. I've just lost all interest in it. Darren, I would love to see a backpack mod that you can pick up and drop, and it holds junk, so you can hot drop gear to fight, then pick up after, bump carry weight. Oh, that is a cool idea. If it was almost like a container you're carrying, and it would drop all of your stuff other than like what you had equipped, and maybe like a small, you could establish like a small like bandolier loadout that would stay on your character. That would be a cool mod. That'd be a very cool mod. You search for anime porn. Don't judge my searches. You've all done worse. Jason LeGrand, do I recall correctly that you're not a fan of modern weapon mods? You are correct. I love... One of my favorite things that Bethesda did to Fallout was leaned in on the alternate history, and like when all their weapons are kind of made up. Like, there's been a couple of exceptions where it's getting pretty close. Like, there's basically an AK-47 in Nuka World. But I like that they, went with more made up weapons, and so those really appeal to me. I really like, if I was going to go download weapon mods, even more than downloading, lore friendly stuff that's like, oh, this is from Watts, or this is from, whatever gun company. I really love the makeshift weapons that people come up with, where it looks like somebody kind of made it out of stuff. Like, that's one of those things that appeals to me on other games that I see. Like, was it the new Far Cry, where they have like the Discman gun, like stuff like that. I love that kind of stuff, like the makeshift weapons. Love games with those. So those are like my favorite type. It really just feels very Fallout. You should have the mods you end up with random. Oh man, that would be hardcore. Just random load order, like just roll the spin a wheel, see what it gets, and let you guys seed all of the wings of the wheel. I feel like that would be... I'd have to have veto power, because I know if I did that, if I like rigged up a little like Wheel of Fortune for you guys to fill out, some number of you would put on very inappropriate mods that would get me kicked off of YouTube. Quick mod idea. Balloon capturing people to make settlers like MGS. Oh, yes. What is that thing called? I can't remember. What's the thing you can attach to people in MGS5? That was the best feature. Literally, like, as soon as I got that, I'm like, oh, well, this is one of my top games of all time now. Like, that thing is so fun. What is that thing called? Fulton. The Fulton recovery system. Oh, my God, is that fun. If you guys haven't... Any of you have not played Metal Gear Solid 5, first of all, big mistake. Because if you like the stealth gameplay of like Fallout, you would be down with that. But just go watch a video of MGS5 Fulton recovery system. It is so satisfying, so satisfying. Not just on people, like you can use it to steal stuff too. Like I have a 100% considered putting that into Fallout because I had so much fun with that system. You need to add climbable radio towers for Chapter 3. Is that a Far Cry reference? Skywise, you can have someone filter the mods for you, so no naked mods. Yeah, it would definitely have to be filtered. That would be kind of fun. Like I mean, I was just already talking about earlier. It would have been fun to have like a random stat set for the start of the game because I wasted way too much time trying to figure out how to min-max my stats. And it would have been more fun, I think, to have random stats and just like have to figure it out, right? Like all right, how am I going to deal with this character that I was handed? Just now playing it and ballooning so many things. Yeah, it's so fun. MGS5 is a phenomenal game. It's one of my top games ever. It's so good. I was never a big Metal Gear Solid fan. Like I never really I remember playing the original PlayStation one, not the like the first time they went to 3D. I think that's when it was Solid. I think before that it was just Metal Gear. I remember the first Metal Gear Solid, sneaking around in the cardboard box. It was a fun game and all, but I never really got into it. And the lore of those games is insane. It's really hard to follow. But the gameplay of MGS5 is so freaking good. It's like one of the best stealth games. It's not quite as amazing as like the modern Hitman games. Like, Hitman 3 is unbelievable. Or what is it called? What's the new Hitman? It's not. They did a weird naming scheme and stuff, but that latest Hitman is crazy. And I haven't even played it yet. Just watching playthroughs of it, I'm just like, this looks so good. But even the old Hitmans that I have played were some phenomenal stealth gameplay. But MGS is up there as like one of the best stealth action games. And like I think even if you don't care about this, like if you just ignore the story and just play it as this really awesome open world stealth action game, it's phenomenal. I am here once again to ask for CC for CPC. So he's talking about Creation Club content for the City Plan contest. That's a tough one, man, because it's we're asking people to spend money to enter the contest, and that like rubs me the wrong way. So like that is my only objection to it. It's like even though they don't have to, and it would be an optional thing, it has like a dirty feeling to it. So yeah, I'm still a little nervous about that. We're still talking about other things we can do for the contest to shake things up, and we'll keep you posted as we add more stuff. I think I did have an idea. This would be useful for what's it called, Wasteland Reconstruction Kit. So one of the things that we've wanted forever in some of our city plans for Rise of the Commonwealth was to have elevators for the settlements that have the highway in them, so like Grey Garden, Finch Farm. I think that's it. Maybe there's another one. And I thought of an easy way I could do it, and it would actually be a nice mod in and of itself. Basically, I would go and rig up elevators, several of them, in those settlements, and then have them all disabled, and then give you a buildable object that when it builds, it's just invisible. It's like one of those workshop framework, like the Blue Men type of objects that appear only in workshop mode. When you build it, it makes one of those elevators appear, and there'd be one of those objects for each of the different elevator placements. And then when you scrap it, the elevator would disappear again. So it'd almost be like you're building it, but that way I could do all the mechanisms and stuff, because doing it dynamically would be possible, but really complicated. But doing it, or if I just place it in the CK, it would be real easy. Like I could probably rig this up. Like that would be something I could speed mod for sure. Like it would be something I could do like in an hour. And then we could have like a series of elevator options in those types of settlements, and then offer them as WRK items, or just make them their own, the triggers for them and like the placement of them their own little mod that I could release as a workshop option. I think that could be really cool. So I think that's in the vein of what you're after, Chuchu, is like just more stuff, right, for the contest, more options of things to build. Like we also were discussing looking into a mod for it for City Plan contest in the future, like a mod with new buildable items, but us trying to find one that's identical on PC and Xbox and that would fit on Xbox for players is, that's a rough ask. So like that's where that kind of keeps brickwalling, and why Workshop Wasteland Reconstruction Kit ends up being our go-to. I think the biggest problem is Wasteland Reconstruction Kit desperately needs a person who loves building to like go at it and like recategorize everything and find all the items with bad collision and get those reported and fixed, and then like that mod would be the solution. But finding somebody with that kind of patience has not happened yet. 76 has one advantage to FO4. That is the camp tool that you can drop to scrap, build on, run, aka outside of workshops. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some cool stuff in 76, but I do not like the online component at all. Like seeing those icons over people's heads and all the goofy stuff people are wearing and the bunny hopping. I know they at least reduced the bunny hopping because it drains your AP, but just in general, like everything about 76 rubs me the wrong way. Like the story was fun, like I liked that, but the gameplay loop, having other players in my world doing MMO stuff, and just ugh. But some of the rendering stuff they had in there is really cool, like the distances and the weather effects, the improvements to camp mode versus workshop mode. Like there's definitely some cool stuff going on in 76, and I hope that we get those types of improvements in future games, like in Starfield and then eventually Fallout 5. Without reason, hey kinggath, about to go to sleep, but noticed you were live and wanted to thank you for everything you've done for the FO4 community. Have a great stream. Thank you. I'm about to go to bed myself. I think I got about 20-25 minutes left in me. But have a good night to you. Fish grenades. What would a fish grenade do? Please tell me. What is your idea? Because I am intrigued. I kind of want to see what a fish grenade would be now. Nick Carter, will ROTC get any more updates before Chapter 3 is out? Very unlikely. Because like the biggest thing left to do, because ROTC we fixed the two biggest issues, which is the inability for some of them to upgrade, and we got rid of all of the pre-combines in it. So like the big remaining things in it would be to clean up items. So like there's a couple of duplicate plots stacked on top of each other. There are a few floating power connectors, so stuff like that. And that, unfortunately, we don't have a great way to fix that. It's just really time consuming to do. We'd have to dig up all the old saves, plus an old version of SS2 to run them with to make sure we don't introduce any complications, re-export them all, rebuild the plans, and then carefully copy the data into ROTC. It's very complicated. If it were easy, we would have done it a long time ago. So it's one of those things where we just never built a good pipeline for this. And I don't know that there is a better one. I think it's just kind of the nature of you're taking content from in the game and figuring out how to jam it into a plugin is complicated. Chuchu, I've seen the Wasteland Workshop elevators. I remain skeptical. Well, I don't mean Wasteland Workshop elevators. I'm talking about those elevators that are already set up. So you think about like on the highway, there's those yellow service elevators. Like I could just build those everywhere and just hide them. And then you get a buildable item that just makes them appear. So then it's just like, okay, do you want the northmost elevator, or do you want the south elevator, or whatever the cardinal directions are, or some way to describe them, and you would just build this object to make them appear and then scrap it to make it disappear. You should check out Fallout 4 Randomizer mod. It moves quest goals so you can just skip ahead. Interesting. So why do you think Starfield isn't going to make the June date? I do not believe it's going to make the June date. So during the Xbox presentation, they showed off their next 3 games, and they did them in April, May, June. So it tells me that they're, as a publisher, trying not to step on their own toes. They're trying to do 1 game a month, which makes sense. You don't want to, if your goal is to be like, hey, you're a Bethesda fan, and for it to mean more than just Bethesda Game Studios, if they're trying to make it like, Bethesda as a whole. I think things will change if Bethesda, or if Microsoft's able to acquire Activision Blizzard. I think that then they'll have a much bigger catalog to lean on. So right now, Bethesda has to be the heavy hitter for Microsoft, because otherwise the only thing they've got is Forza and Halo screwed the pooch with their last release, and I guess they got downsized. I think I read their 343 is only going to work on multiplayer Halo anymore, or something like that. Microsoft's leaning on Bethesda to be their kind of heavy hitter, so they got to spread the games out. So it looks to me like earliest we're going to see Starfield is July. would be my assumption. But we'll know soon. I imagine they said they're working on a showcase for it. I assume that during the showcase they'll give us a new date. Choo-choo, just look at 76 and see so many objects I could build plots with. Yeah, 76. Yeah, 76's build kit is insane, especially when you factor in the atomic shop. There's some really cool stuff there. Carvine, what functions do you think the CK needs or you want and hope there are for Starfield? So I think the biggest things I want, I have a pretty short wish list. I would like them to have a default interface system. And what I mean by that is, so like we've figured out ways to hack the HUD. I would like, first of all, I'd like that to be dynamic. So like, you know, don't make us have to create a framework for that. Make that native. Give us a native framework for editing the UI. But by interface, I mean, let us have a mode where we take over all the players' controls, and then we can do whatever we want with it. Like that plus the HUD, that is an interface. That's where I can be like, okay, let's put you into, you know, a map mode, and then I display what I need on screen, control your cursor, and like, you know, handle what happens when you activate things. Like, give me a framework to do that, because can you imagine how much more, how much better we could make like working with plots or working in HQ if I could just design any UI I wanted, like with full, like I'm a trained web developer, like that's my career is all in web. Like I could just build websites as a UI and give you guys all sorts of visual stuff, and it would be amazing. Like that's what I would love to have. Second would be some sort of database system so that I could bulk store information and not have to rely on these wonky methods. Like we store the way we have to store data in the creation engine is really wonky, and it's susceptible to save corruption. So like I would love to have some sort of native database for handling like bulk data, especially for systems stuff like this. Like it seems to me that would be like, they're so fast. Like even if it's just give me an SQL database, I could do magic with that. It doesn't need to be that, but some sort of database system that's meant to hold mass amounts of raw data, so that, and for quick access, instead of the way they have it right now. It's really wonky to store data. And then I guess the third wish list item would be the ability to mess with strings. So a string would be like a word or a sentence, because right now, like we're so like anything we want to do with strings, it just, you have to bend over backwards to do it. And I know why it is because it makes it easier for them to support translation. But since most mods aren't natively translated anyway, that doesn't really, for modding, it doesn't matter. So like for that, like to give us the string functions, knowing that for mods, we don't need translation, or we're not going to have translation, or if we are, you know, the community will figure out a way to do it. So in that way, I would love to have that. We could do a lot of cool stuff with that. It would just make like string stuff. We can already, there's very few things I can think of we can't do right now with messaging and like words. Like you guys can see, we can dynamically inject the names of building plans and settlement locations. Like we can figure out how to do it, but it takes so much more effort than it would if we could just run some script functions that manipulated strings or whatnot. So those would be my three, probably in order too. I think user interface is my number one request. Because like I would love to not have to, if I could never use another barter container to make you guys select options again, that would make me very happy. That is like soul crushing. Like so much of my career has been spent doing UX, and then to have to do something like that, and that's my best case scenario, is like, oh, it hurts. It hurts. Let's see here. Hitman style fish that can knock humans or sense unconscious. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, just chuck a fish. That would be hilarious. You throw a fish frag and it attracts Deathclaw to attack people near you. We had in what is it? In Rise of the Commonwealth, actually. If you build the Crew Manor city plan, you will find ghoul lures. I don't know if it works in SS2. Has anybody tried this? The Crew Manor city plan from ROTC. There's a crate you'll find with, or there's a vending machine, and if you purchase, you can purchase ghoul lures, and if you throw them, a bunch of ghouls will spawn all around it and come running over and start eating it. And I know that, I don't remember if they work anywhere or if they only work with around ghouls. I don't remember how they worked. I remember having a lot of fun getting that working. But yeah, having a thing you could throw that would spawn an enemy and have it chase after that thing, that'd be pretty fun. It is fun. Speed modding idea of Warple Bunny. Speed modding I'm really excited about, just because like some days I'll get on a roll and I will be able to create like a lot of mod content very quickly. But doing it under the pressure of an audience, I think, will keep me super focused, and so I'm really curious what I can pull off under those constraints. Lachlan Williams, have you ever run into an issue where SS2 quest broke and can't be cleared from the Pip-Boy? Have your pretty good set to stage 1100, but it's still active? Yeah, I've seen that with not just with SS2. I've just seen that with stuff in general. I don't know why it happens though. Like I've had vanilla quests just stuck as they show active, but they also show completed. And I've seen failed quests show up highlighted green instead of down in the faded area. I think it's like just some weird UI bug. It's pretty rare. Maybe it happens more with our quests, but I don't know what causes it. Any chance of getting WRK marker shops fixed before you pause for updates? Probably not, because I don't actually know what's wrong, and I have so many other things that on the list. If you go look at, I think I gave you access, Choo-Choo, to the internal bug list. It's got 160 reports on it. I'd say about 40 of those reports are like suggestions for tightening things up and whatnot. So I have 120 bug reports to pick from right now. Skyway 76 lost me when I was told I need to pay for a door. Yeah, I think one of the things that, like, microtransactions when they're in a store don't bother me, because I just won't go to the store. Or if I will go to the store periodically, like out of curiosity. I also don't mind when they pop up when I log in the game and be like, hey, we got some new items, to try and lure me in. But when I'm in the middle of playing and they show me something and then tell me I can't have it with the money, that drives me nuts. Like, I've heard that's one of the biggest problems with ESO, is like that you'll be playing the game and you'll like walk to a door and it'll ask you to buy an expansion or something. Like, no, that would drive me insane. So like, yeah, some of the I'm okay with microtransaction-y stuff, and sometimes I'll bite. And like certain games like Hearthstone, I have no problem paying for packs because I love TCGs. But yeah, that kind of stuff, yeah, I feel you if it's in the middle of the game. And I think that's one of the things 76 does, is like you can be in camp mode, and then I think the default setting, like you can just push a button to turn it off, but I think the default setting is to like show you stuff you don't have that you could buy. It's like you're getting into predatory territory there. Predatory territory there. Do you think there's any chance of the consoles getting a space increase with the new update? I mean, I'm hopeful. Like that would be, to me, one of the things that Bethesda should push for. Like especially like what I've been told by people at Bethesda for the why Xbox can't have their limit increase is that if they went through and increased the limit for Xbox, it would apparently require an update to the game, and it would wipe out everybody's mod list. So everybody would have to like re-download their mods. And some, hardcore players would be like, okay, that's worth it. But like average casual would be pretty pissed about that, I think. And of course they would have to communicate that knowledge to everybody. So that would be another thing that just wouldn't look good. So I can understand that. But it seems to me with the remaster, if it's going to be a fresh install, then they're going to get that opportunity to do a new thing anyway. But if it's going to be an in-place upgrade, like it's just like a patch, then I could see why they can't. But I think if it ends up having to be like a new download, it's like, maybe people who have the original get it for free or something, then I see no reason why they wouldn't increase the mod space. So I think that's what it's going to come down to. If it's just a patch, they probably won't get a space increase. If it has to be like a new executable and it can't be a patch, has to be like a new download, then I bet they get an increase. So I'm hopeful. Carmack, follow up. What legacy features do you think will still be there for Starfield? I don't know. I would hope that they don't retire anything. Like if I had to guess, the stuff that will get pulled out of Starfield would be like the power armor system. Probably won't be in. But maybe not. Maybe they'll still use that. Maybe that's how they do. Maybe they'll use that for spacesuits or something. I don't know. I think it's. There's a lot of, if you look into Fallout 4 and you start digging around, there's a lot of like remnants of Skyrim there. Like you can tell they picked up one and start building the other. It's a shame that they disabled that stuff. It would have been, I think, smart for them to just leave that engine level, like leave those papyrus functions in there. Just leave it in there and let modders figure it out. But I have no idea. I couldn't speculate on what they're removing and what they don't, because it's been such a gap between their games. Like Skyrim and Fallout 4 were made so close together, and they probably changed their, and with Fallout 4 they changed their tune on how they handle mod stuff, like when they once they started offering it to Xbox. So going in to Starfield knowing that, hey, this is going to be available on console too, maybe that means they've kind of doubled down on modding, and they're going to be, you know, they're going to want to keep as many features as possible. I would guess though, any feature that there's not an equivalent of in Starfield, they'll get rid of for the sake of, not because they want to cut off modders, but because they don't want to have to test stuff that they're not using, right? Because everything that they include has to go through their QA department, and that costs a lot of money. Like, QA is very expensive to do right, which is why there will forever be a ton of bugs in Bethesda games, because QAing an open world game is ridiculously expensive. Choo-choo-1, you don't like ham-fisting a broader menu to be a selection menu. Next, you're going to say CK runs badly. Sometimes it runs okay if I leave it running for a while and try not to click certain screens. Actually, I don't mind the CK anymore. I've learned all the little points where it crashes, and it's actually pretty minimal. It's the same stuff all the time. Like, it's like, you know, pushing F while you have an item selected in the render window is risky. Opening the objectives menu without saving first. There's just a couple of like little things. As long as you don't do them, you're generally okay. Cyto 404, I wonder if some F4SC dark magic could be done to hook up SQL Lite or something. Now, you probably could be. F4SC is pretty open-ended. The problem is like finding somebody who would want to rig that up. So we don't have a lot of people who are into doing F4SC programming. It's very niche. Not a lot of, like, it tends, I mean, that's the case for all of the Bethesda games that have a script extender, is it tends to be one very knowledgeable person comes along, adds all the features they want, and that's what the community gets. And so, you know, we haven't had anybody come in that's like, yeah, I would love to have access to a database to store a lot of data that knows the F4C pipeline or is willing to learn it. I'm not willing to learn it because I have enough stuff I want to mod in the base game without that. And I don't, and because I want to support console players, like, they would never be able to use that. So it's one of the reasons I haven't pursued it. So even if someone did patch that in, I still wouldn't engage with it. So really want it to be a native thing. Balloon Settlers go on the list with Nukes Win. I'm surprised someone hasn't released a Fulton for Fallout 4. Like, that wouldn't be that difficult to do. To make it look cool, like, the Fulton just looks hilarious. To get that would be hard, but to, like, just get a thing that lifted a settler straight up in the air, like, that would be pretty easy to do. I mean, we kind of have it with the fizzy lifty beer. Like, that kind of does that, but it doesn't have the, like, really hilarious, the quick fill up of the balloon, the fast jerk up into the air with the scream. Like, it's that whole combination that makes it so entertaining. Nick Rudder, have you ever made mods for Warcraft 3? Yes, I have. That is actually Warcraft 3, Warcraft 2 I didn't do it. Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2, even StarCraft 1 are kind of where I got my start in modding. None of the stuff I would release, it's all, you know, it's all terrible. It was like stuff I did when I was a teenager. And then I would say, like, I really, like, for me, modding really clicked with Quake 3. That was when I it was just like, oh, this is my jam, and I just kept making stuff for it. But yeah, Warcraft 3 was one of my favorite. Their editor was so much fun to play with. It is no surprise to me that a thing like Dota came from Warcraft 3, because that little level editor they had was really powerful. Arissa, do you remember the monthly fee concept during the early MMO years? It was something like $12 to $15 a month. I miss those days. That's how I played World of Warcraft religiously, and like, I loved that, the monthly fee. I think that's awesome. Like, because it was like, to me, that was like the best value in gaming, because I didn't play any other games during that time. It was like $15 a month is my whole gaming budget. Literally spent, you know, unless there was an expansion coming out that year, I would spend $0 on any other game. I saved a ton of money during my World of Warcraft days. Because when I wasn't, but like, and now I'm saving money because I'm hooked on modding. But like, during the periods of my life where I'm just like an avid gamer and keeping up, I mean, I'm buying a new game every 2 weeks at $50-$60 a pop. Like, gotta have quite the gaming budget there. So yeah, I like monthly fees for something like that, for gaming, which is like kind of all consuming. I really think the Xbox Games Pass is actually like where it's at. That's like phenomenal value for what it gives you. I'm irritated by the current the streaming wars going on, where if you want to get access to every movie and TV show that people are talking about, you've got to have like 7 different subscriptions. Like I can't wait till that dies. I can't wait till one or two companies emerge and buy out the others, because that feels like we're back to premium cable again. And like I have no problem with there being options for folks, but I think it's really like it kind of breaks up our like cultural connections with each other, because it's so rare that I meet people that have seen the same set of shows as I have, whereas back when it was Netflix was the only streaming service, like you could pretty much guarantee like everybody had seen Stranger Things, and so it was like a nice point to talk about and bond over some pop culture, and like that's kind of gone now, because now it's one person will have be into Ted Lasso and I don't have Apple, the next person will be into whatever the random niche like must-have show is on these streaming services. Not a fan of that. But otherwise, I mean, I definitely think the monthly subscription for MMOs I think was a good move. It's much better than microtransactions. Carback, what I worry about is they said there would be mods in Fallout 76. They have said so from the start. Some days I think Starfield will not have access to the CK and mods at all. I think it's a different animal though, because doing mods for a multiplayer game is super complicated. They have to make sure that it doesn't crash their servers. Are they going to offer people to self-host, and then how do they deal with the fact that they would have to give out their server code? Like that's a big problem. What kind of mods make sense on a network? How do they handle scripting languages and people accidentally introducing bugs and corrupting saves? Like there's a lot more to think about with modding multiplayer than there is single player. So I think 76 got delayed because they realized like, oh, we built this multiplayer thing onto our creation engine and it's barely held together with duct tape, and now we want to let modders tinker with it. Like I think it was just like, I think it was delayed because it's just too complicated. And maybe it gets canceled, or maybe it gets like severely diminished to where it becomes like, oh, you can mod in new skins and that's it, or something like that. Oscar Fry, can you give us any more info about the new SMG for Chapter 3? All I can say about it is not an SMG. That's as much info as I'll give you on that. But it will kill things. Mod Hunter 42, progress on Gremlin's weapon plan. So Gremlin is kind of on ice right now. We've got the voice actress has agreed to come back, and the original writer was coming back, but he's just had a lot of life going on and hasn't been able to tackle it. And we haven't had the heart to take it away from him and do it ourselves. So it's kind of just in limbo. Blawi36, I really hope Kinggath can make Horizon and Sim Settlements 2 work together. That's going to be a challenge, especially I hear that, and maybe he already did it, I hear that he was working on a big Concord thing for Horizon, which obviously is a big problem with our story stuff now. I'm sure, I mean, it can be worked around. It could be just something like we just disable all of our little settlers or whatever. But yeah, I have not. Somebody once had done a add-on pack to make us Horizon compatible, and it was basically like make versions of our building plans that were balanced around Horizon, but then you lose all that detail. Now, one of the nice things with SS2 versus SS1 is that everything is based on the building classes. So in theory, really, somebody could take all of our building class resources and rebalance them. But I thought we kind of got to a little more compatible space by doing the virtual resources. So like one of the things that I think people did in SS1 with Horizon was SS1 made it too easy. And, I don't know what the elements of Horizon that we make too easy, or if it's a straight up incompatibility. I don't know. I've never played Horizon, so I definitely wouldn't be the person to make a patch for that. We would need somebody who's a super fan of both to do it. And as far as I can tell, it's way too deep a mod for me to just like sit down and learn it and learn it over a couple of weeks and patch it. Like it would be like a big commitment, and I just can't justify that time when there's so much stuff that we're working on and that needs to be fixed in the base mod. Like it would be crazy for me to dedicate all that time for something like that. Jason Locran says, anyone found the mod you did voice work for? No. Everyone will. I mean, the most recent one I did voice work for, I mean, you guys will all recognize my voice, I think. I put on a little bit of a character voice for it, but there is a mod coming out. I actually, I wonder if it's, I know Al has been streaming it. I wonder if he's come across my character yet. Al Chess Breach has been streaming the mod, one of the mods I'm in. The other one is one I don't think anybody will ever find, because it was like it's like a minor thing you might not find, and I think I just used my regular voice, but I don't know if he modified it for it. But yeah, no one's ever called me out on that mod, so I don't think, and I know I'm uncredited. But the new one I'm in, I am credited in, and you guys will all hear me do the voice of Dr. Gary in the Fens Sheriff Department. I think that's the name of the mod, Fens Sheriff Department. Good morning, Thunderbolt. Can you make Horizon some... Oh, that's the same message. Carve out good points about 76 modding. Yeah, I think... yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with that. Or if they just, like, one day just decide... They put out an announcement, like... I feel like they wouldn't even bother to make an announcement about... like, we've decided not to do modding. It might just be, like, one of those things that just... people will forget it eventually. And we'll just have it as a, a thing some players are upset about forever. And that's too bad. I don't know how they'll address that if they decide to bail on it. Arissa, we are back to the cable prices. I'd rather not pay any game developer any more money. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. They're like, if you get in, like with MMOs, they get really stale if they don't keep developing and if they don't keep adding content. And eventually you get to a point where new people aren't going to come along anymore because it gets too overwhelming to join up. So like I feel like they have to either do microtransactions or monthly costs. It's the only way to keep those MMOs alive. But if MMOs aren't your thing, then you don't have to worry about the costs. But yeah, I think it's a necessity to make MMOs work. Like World of Warcraft would have been dead in a year if they didn't put out expansions all the time. And you can't afford to develop expansions on new players alone, because eventually you hit kind of a soft cap of the number of players per month that are going to be joining up. And then eventually you make it's a barrier to entry when there's too many expansions. Like, can you like trying to get into ESO right now and you look at their expansion list, it's like, that's nuts. I mean, it's like to buy all the right now I think you can play them all for free, but generally you got to pay for each one you want to visit. So like to get it, I think they have like 12 expansions or something, with no plans of stopping. Like it's, yeah, like that's overwhelming for new players. So that's where I stand on them. I don't mind. I think a $15 a month fee for something that I'm obsessed with, I have no problem with that. That's just me. I just know I would spend a lot more than that on entertaining myself if I wasn't obsessed with that thing. So to me, it's a savings. Darren, I would like to see all games move towards the Ark or Conan model, where there's a single user mode with mods, private co-op servers with mods, and an official server no mods. Yeah, I think that, I mean, isn't that kind of like what Minecraft has too? Like, I think Minecraft kind of set the bar there, is where you can self-host and everything. I wish all games would do that. Sinister, are there any plots that you are surprised the community hasn't created yet? I have more than a few. I'm not. I'll be honest. I am not super versed in all the available options. So. I know that it's periodically in chat people talk about like there not being a particular plot type, like a class and size combination covered, and like those, at this point I would say I'm shocked that that line hasn't been crossed yet, of being like, oh, I would expect there to be. So any of them where there's not a size class combination, I would say that's a hole that needs to be filled. That I'd be surprised by, but I'm not. I can't say I'm knowledgeable enough on all the options to say that. Hopefully, I'll start to get knowledgeable though, because playing in hardcore like this with some add-on packs, I'm gonna quickly learn like what I need to fill in the space when I'm trying to be very meticulous and ultimately create a balanced network here. Eric, so what would you consider the minimal kit to do game voiceover? Here, I'll send you what I've got, and like my stuff is good enough to do it. It doesn't so my recording space is not good for this, and I'm sure my voice in the mod is going to have a lot of reverb. And it I am not allowed to voice characters in our mod right now because I don't even want to, but because I don't have a good recording setup for it because I'm in an open room, so there's a lot of reverb. You need to have like a small space and generally like padded walls to absorb some of the reverb. But the minimum equipment you need, I think I got it at Guitar Center. Let me go to their website and I'll get you the thing. It's like, it was I bought like a $200 kit. You don't even need this. You actually can go less. Like you can get, like I think you can get a Blue Yeti mic, which is pretty decent for like $100. Let me check that. Blue Yeti. Like any of these podcasting mics you see, they sell them at all over the place. Yeah, Blue Yeti retails for $129. I've seen it on sale for under $100 at Best Buy. So like look up Blue Yeti. That would be a good one. Let me find my exact kit that I have. And I've bought 2 of these before. I had an older model, and I upgraded it. And I think this is a really good deal for what you get. No, this isn't it. I think the price has gone up on this. So there used to be this setup you could buy at Guitar Center for like $180, I think, and it was by Focusrite, but it looks like it's gone up quite a bit in cost, which is a bummer. So here's the thing, like this is what I have right now. It looks like it's gone up to 200, but it might be one of those things that it's periodically on sale. This is the set I have right now, and I think it sounds really good. So, but yeah, you just need like a podcasting mic. You'll be good enough. The bigger thing you just need like a reasonable level mic, and then the more important thing is to put yourself in a space that's conducive to good recording. And you can do that you can do like your closet. Like if you got a closet full of clothes, you can literally just like put your mic on pull your computer over close to your closet, or put your mic on a long cable, go kind of sit in your closet. Some people have done that. Some people will do a blanket over their head, over their mic, and record, and you can do it that way too. There's a lot of tips people have for it. If you go YouTube for how do I reduce reverb, you'll have a lot of tips you can do for cheap. But yeah, a podcasting mic that has basically the key to a decent mic that's going to sound good is it should be an XLR cable to record. Like if you have a fully USB mic, it's not going to sound as good. You want something with like this. It's called an XLR cable. It's got like 3 little prongs in it. It's what professional musicians use. So something like that, and they're pretty cheap now thanks to the popularity of streaming and stuff. Have you ever looked at EverQuest? Yeah, I played EverQuest a little bit back when I was really into MMOs. So I used to play all of them. I'm trying to think of all the ones I've played. I've played Dark Age of Camelot, EverQuest. There was this one that was like semi-futuristic. What the heck was the name of that? Let me find. I played Conan Exiles briefly. Actually, I think I played there was another Conan game before that. Let's see. Abandoned MMOs. Let me find some of these to see. Let's say list of old MMOs. I'll tell you all the ones I've played. Let's see. I played Ultimate Online, EverQuest, Anarchy Online. That's what I was thinking. I played Anarchy Online, Dark Age of Camelot. And it's funny how few there were back in like the late 90s, early 2000s versus how many came out in like in the middle there. I played EverQuest 2 briefly. I played a ton of World of Warcraft. I played a lot of Guild Wars 1. I've played a little bit of Guild Wars 2. I hear that's the better of them. Age of Conan, that's what I played. Not the new Conan Exiles, which is far superior. I played Star Wars Old Republic a bit. Going through these, that's the end of the list that's coming up for me. I'm sure there are more that I missed. That's about it. I think I generally only play mainstream ones that got a decent pop, that were hyped up in the general gaming sphere, and I stopped after a point, and so I stopped keeping up in like the mid, like probably a couple years before Fallout 4 came out. I kind of was like, all right, I'm done with MMOs. These are a soul sucker for me. Did you hear the bad news about Chinese WoW players? They can't play anymore because of financial disagreements with server hosting. Oof, that sucks. Like if you get you know, you just hooked into an MMO for years, and like some people would like, I mean, they would invest, like it became more important to them than their real life, like to lose all that. That's rough. That is rough. Does current SS2 have figure like SS Conquest? I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you mean like Conqueror, like the assault system, no, but that's coming with the 3.0 patch. We're bringing that stuff forward from Conqueror to SS2, and it's much improved, I think. Skywise, ever checked out Star Wars Galaxies? No, I actually missed that one. That was one of the ones I never played. I used to, in the guild I was in, World of Warcraft, like most, like the core of my guild all came from, they had a Star Wars Galaxies group before Galaxies shut down, and they all came together as like a package deal, and they were like my core raiding group. So I heard a lot about it, but I never played it myself. No, Final Fantasy, a couple people asked me about, oh no, it's Nick twice. Final Fantasy, what is that, 11? No, I never played Final Fantasy 11, and I haven't played, what's the other, is it the new one, is it 14? Is that also online? Final Fantasy, I have a weird relationship with. I used to love those games as a kid, like, you know, 3, 7, 9, absolutely love those games. And then I think I skipped 8 because a lot of my friends at the time told me it was too different. It was too weird compared to 7. And I was just like, all right, well, I don't want different. And then 9 was like back to formula. Loved that one. And then didn't do 11. 10, I was told also similar things to 8, that it had some weird stuff going on to it. I played it a little, never got into it. And then I tried to play 12. Got stuck at a point where I couldn't beat a boss. And I built my character badly. And I was just like, all right, I think I'm just done with Final Fantasy. And I haven't gone back since. Still like the Final Fantasy characters, like a lot of nostalgia. Like I love me some Kingdom Hearts, although I didn't play 3, and I hear it's kind of a shit show, so I just haven't bothered. But I loved Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and that was always fun to run into the Final Fantasy characters. Darren, did you know a lot of the devs for ESO are from DOAC? I'm an old DOAC fan, and one of the reasons they nerfed Lurrikines. Oh, did not know that. Now ESO, so I played ESO the year it came out, and I went in expecting, you know, Skyrim Online, and it's so not that I just was like, I'm done with it. This is not good. I'm out. People tell me now that it's got similar vibes and it feels like it, but I can't fathom how much they would have had to change the gameplay for it not to feel like an MMO. Like Skyrim does not feel like an MMO at all. ESO very much did. You know, got an action bar and I'm hitting buttons over here. That doesn't work for me. It just felt wrong. Like the action cooldowns. I mean, it felt like someone took Warcraft or World of Warcraft and put a Elder Scrolls skin on it. That's what ESO felt to me when I played it. I don't know how much they could have changed the gameplay. All right, guys, I'll take a couple more questions, and then I'm heading off to bed. And I see a lot of tech check on it. FYI, everybody, if you're talking to me, make sure you do an @kinggath, because I will, since I go on, my answers tend to be so long. I don't keep up with all the chat. Basically, if you @kinggath in your question, I will see it. Otherwise, I fall so behind on chat. It's the only way I have a chance to catch up to you guys. Ooh, that felt good. So I got a new toy recently that I've been obsessed with this week. My wife got me a little 3D printer called a Toy Box. If you're ever into, if you want a very good introductory model of a 3D printer to get into it, because it's one of those hobbies I've talked about getting into for years, and then so she finally pulled the trigger. And I think it was pretty decent price now. Like one of the things that kept me off 3D printing is like it's pretty expensive to get into. But this is like, I think it's like $250 or something for this printer, and it's very small, prints little tiny things, but it's so user friendly. And I've been printing toys for my kids, and actually, let me show you guys some. No, I don't have a picture of it handy. I was gonna say I started printing something SS2 related. I'll show off a screenshot on our website or something once I have a decent version of it. But yeah, I've been doing 3D printing, having a lot of fun with it. I just like took a glance over the printer and I was like, what am I doing? It's not printing right now, because it's like just a mountain of stuff that my kids wanted me to make for them once they saw all the options. And I realized I couldn't be printing right now because you guys would be driven mad by hearing the it sounds like a modem sometimes, like an old school dial-up modem for you fellow oldies that is going off constantly. All right, guys. Yep, I think yeah, 3D prints of SS2 items. I'm not trying to make anything to sell. I'm just trying to make something for fun. Because it would be too much work to have to like produce them myself, and because you like when you 3D print something, it's not ready for use. Like you've got to do a lot of work to it after the fact. So I think it would not be something I would want to spend my time on, of producing little products like that. But yeah, I'll show it off when I got it, and then you guys can try and find a way to convince me to mass produce them. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. I will catch you next week, hopefully for some more hard mode play. It was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for teaching me survival mode, and we'll catch you next Wednesday.